night. This is a big, big night for them. This is the first show back in front of fans, and you can't stress like how much excitement there is out there. If you look on Twitter right now, I would say the excitement is kind of swirling around WrestleMania kind of levels. Lots of people tweeting, lots of little teases on social media from different wrestlers. We're getting breaking news coming through all the time. People sharing pictures of stages and people giving their opinions. And there's so much going on. It's just buzzing right now. The whole WWE universe is alive right now. It's buzzing right now. We've already seen footage of Steph and Triple H on social media meeting some of the fans before they go into the building. That has done the rounds. It's nice to see. It's cool to see. But obviously, you know, that's not what we're here for. We're not here for these nice little meet and greets. That doesn't really do anything for us. What we're hoping for is surprises, good creative stories, OMG moments, and apparently there's going to be quite a few of those as well. So it's hard to know what to say, to be honest, because there's so many rumours. I mean, do we talk about the rumours? Do we just wait and see what happens? I mean, we could spend an hour talking about, well, we might get this person, we might get that person. Did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? But, I mean, literally in an hour, we're going to find out. We're going to find out what was true, what wasn't true, if they changed their mind, if it was a swerve. I gotta say, I'm kind of more in the camp of, shall we just wait and see? And shall we just enjoy whatever we get given? I'm kind of more sitting there. I've seen a lot of stuff. I've been sent a lot of stuff. Really do appreciate it. As I said, the footage of Steph and Triple H meeting people was nice. I will agree to that. It was nice. But in all fairness, I was thinking as I was watching it, if I was going along, I'd want a lot more than just a picture with Steph. Do you know what I mean? I'd want a written apology for the Raws that we've had to sit through recently. I'd like a full breakdown. I want a full written and verbal apology. That's what I want. A picture won't quite cut it for me. But joking aside, look, it is nice to see them doing those kind of things. It's not the sort of thing you really associate with WWE. It's probably more of an AEW move. But I thought it was cool. What we can talk about, though, right now, we'll see what the chat's thinking, right? We'll get a vibe on the chat. We've got the new stage just behind. So I do have a picture of the new stage. Everyone's seen it now. I can't imagine there's too many people that haven't. But this picture was doing the rounds earlier. This is the new stage just here. And it is basically... In fact, I've got a better picture of it. So that's doing the rounds on social media. That is the new stage. It's just a big screen. And... it sort of reminds me a little of the old Raw stage that was also just a big screen, and it had a little cutout in the center. The Raw one was sloped, though this one isn't as sloped. It still curves round. But yeah, I mean, look, it looks cool. The one thing that I'm hearing about it is apparently you can't judge it till you see it on TV. That's what I've heard. A lot of the talk has been that... yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot of that augmented reality. So apparently the set is looking, big, nice. They're going to be able to do loads with it, but there's a lot of room to then add graphics. So we're not going to quite get the full effect of it until we actually see how they use it. So I've seen a few people disappointed. I can understand that, to be fair. I mean, I personally have said I've been wanting and hoping for a set that's like the Fist. Doesn't have to be the Fist, but something that's like so iconic that if you go to see Smackdown live, you'd want to see that. If you went to see Smackdown back in the day, you'd probably take a picture of the Fist. You'd probably take a picture of like you pointing at the Fist and the Fist in the background. You'd be excited to see that. I don't know that you're going to be excited to see that stage. It's quite big and bland. So for me, it lacks a little bit of personality, but there is a big but, just like Nicki Minaj. we need to see how they're going to use it, right? We need to see how they're going to use it. Because apparently there's a lot of augmented reality involved. So, Liam Crook, shout out to you. Hope you are well. Says, Days, could you see Cena returning tonight? No. I can't see Cena coming back tonight because I think there's rumours for him in the future. So, there's like a penciled in sort of date for Cena and it's not tonight. So, I've said before, I think if you're sitting there thinking, we're going to get this, we're going to get that, we're going to get this, we're going to get that, you might want to just turn down those expectations a little bit. I do think you're going to get some stuff tonight. I think there's a good chance you get some NXT appearances. There's a good chance that you do get a big return, right? It could be like a Becky, or it could be a Bray, or it could be whoever. I'm not expecting Bray, right? He's on the Raw brand anyway. So I'm not expecting Bray. But obviously, I mean, look, they can do anything they want. I wouldn't really get too bogged down in, they're Raw, they're this. Like, this is massive for WWE. This is huge, right? They will do whatever they need to do to make tonight and this weekend a success. So we've already seen, like, there's wild card rules and all this kind of flipping nonsense. So I wouldn't get too bogged down on, actually, I think you'll find they're on the Raw brand. Right, forget that. But I still don't expect him. But it could be that you get, as I said, one big return that everyone's going to buzz about and everyone's going to talk about. And you might get some NXT appearances. But we know pretty much we know a lot of the card for tonight. So tonight we've got Edge and the Mysterios taking on Roman and the Usos. Bianca Belair taking on Carmella. Big E versus Kevin Owens versus King Shinsuke versus Seth Rollins. And there's a few little promo segments in there also. So, you know, there's definitely potential for some big moments. I don't know how they're going to start the show. I don't know if Vince is going to come out. I don't know if Steph's coming out. We know that Steph and Triple H are there. I said before I would start with Steph and Triple H. I would start with Steph and Triple H because at WrestleMania, it's Vince that came out first. So I wouldn't copy WrestleMania because I think it's too similar. I think Vince can stay out back. We saw Vince at Survivor Series when he introduced Undertaker. We saw Vince at WrestleMania when he welcomed back the fans. We don't need Vince tonight. But I think, like, you know, if Triple H's music hits and Steph comes out as well, like, you know, that'll be a nice little moment. It'd be a good way to start the show. So I'd take Triple H and Steph tonight. And then, you know, you could have a fun opening segment, maybe Roman getting in Triple H's face or whatever it might be. Then, you know, you can lead into Edge and the Mysterios versus Roman and Usos. Maybe that could kick off the show. They'll probably want to end with it, in all fairness. But, yeah, there's lots of things that they can do tonight. So, it's exciting. It's definitely exciting. I'm definitely excited. But, yeah, Liam, I can't say I'm expecting Cena. I mean, if we get him, big surprise. Big surprise. Caleb, WWE Minecraft Gaming, said, Days, are you ready? No, Days. I said, are you ready? DX. I hear you, bud. I hear you. I think we're all ready. I think we've all waited a long time for this. They kind of teased us, fans coming back at WrestleMania, didn't they? They're like, we just want to welcome back the fans for these 2 nights, and then you need to go away for a few more months. So I think we've been ready for a long time, to be honest. But yeah, we are going to get fans back tonight, and I can't wait. I hope the fans are very vocal. I hope the fans are let WWE know how they feel. I think WWE are going to be doing everything they can to butter the fans up a little bit. You know, if you've already met Triple H and Steph outside, and you're going in, and there's like a little message before saying, welcome back, we've missed you, we love you, all this kind of stuff. It might just take the edge on you then, like, booing the stuff that you don't like. So I do agree that there's going to be a good few weeks where I think the fans are just going to be into a lot of stuff. I can't see the fans, like, being bored with anything for a good few weeks. But, yeah, you know, after a while, things will settle down. You know, that we'll get used to the fans being back. The fans will, you know, be used to being back as well. And then, you know, we'll start to find out what they like, what they don't like. And in all fairness, that's really important. That kind of fan interaction, that kind of fan feedback is really, really important. So it's not something that should be like, oh, people are going to be moaning. It's kind of how wrestling has always worked. Fans are into this, they're not into this. Let's give them more of that. Let's turn this down a little bit. That gimmick's not working. Let's tweak this. Blah blah blah. It's always worked that way. So, but I'm not sure I'm expecting like too much feedback tonight, apart from people just wildly cheering. But hey, it's cool, man. It's so cool. I'm so excited to just see people back and get that energy again. That energy really came across from AEW midweek. It was fantastic. So I'm looking for that. I'm looking for that tonight. Lauren said, did you see WrestleVote's tweet? It was teasing Finn Balor. What are your thoughts? My thoughts are that if people want to spend like this next hour speculating on that stuff, that's fine. We can do that. To be honest, I'm just gonna wait. I have seen that tweet. I've seen loads of tweets. There's pictures of people like wrestlers that are tagged in Texas. There's reports from Fightful saying that there's certain NXT superstars backstage. My feelings on it are there's going to be quite a few teases. There's going to be quite a few things that don't come through. I would say the WrestleVotes one stand a good chance of coming off because they're a very reliable source. So I'd say WrestleVotes one, could come off. But there's so many rumours. So many rumours. I mean, someone got in touch with me and said that Frankie Monet had said something as well. Could we see Frankie Monet tonight? And it's just like, I'm pretty sure at some point nearly everyone has been mentioned to me that they're going to be on the show tonight. So I'm just of the opinion, let's wait and see. I'm just of the opinion, let's see what we get, to be honest. If it is going to be Balor, brilliant. I'll love that. I think Balor's ready for a call-up. I think Balor should return to the main roster. I think he's done everything he can do. I think it's Carrion's time at the moment. And even if it's not Carrion's time, I don't see why we would go back to Balor in NXT. So I kind of think we need to move Balor out the way a little bit. You would either have to start a new feud for Balor and just completely get him out of the way of Carrion, or you call him up. So he is ready. He is definitely ready to return. It's been a couple of years. Almost 2 years, actually. Or maybe it was 2 years. I'm not too sure. It's kind of SummerSlam 2019, so surely it wouldn't have been yet. So it's been almost 2 years. Liam Costa said, Days, how are you? I'm good. How are you? It's good to be back. Welcome back. Welcome back, Liam Costa. Hope you are well, buddy. Hope you are excited. You can sense the excitement. Like, the chat's moving quite quick. People are throwing in their thoughts. It's just a lot of excitement around at the moment, which is brilliant. It's great to see. SmackDown has been the better show for a long time anyway, so I always feel like a bit more excited for SmackDown compared to Raw. But I think what with the new set, what with Triple H and Steph being there, what with... because I don't know they're there every week, in all fairness. Certainly not Steph. So what with them being there, I think it increases the chance that we'll see them on screen. The fact that there's going to be call-ups, there's going to be surprises. It's good, man. It's good. And this is a go-home show. I'm excited for a go-home show. Normally, go-home shows are trash. So the fact that I'm so pumped for tonight is it's wonderful. Haven't been this excited for wrestling in a long time, let me tell you. Dane Films says, Days, who do you think will win the briefcase? I want Riddle and Nikki Cross. Who do I think wins the briefcase? We did a near 3-hour stream yesterday. We kind of looked at everyone that was in it and spoke about, what we thought. Big shout out to everyone that joined that stream. I really enjoyed it. Like, nearly 3 hours of just getting it all out there, going through everything, and there's some great stuff that came out of it. I think that Riddle stands maybe the best chance. I think they might be tempted by Big E, but Big E just doesn't feel like it's quite working at the moment. I think Riddle's in a great place. I think Riddle is really over with the crowd as well. They maybe don't quite know that yet, but I think when the live crowds come back, they'll get a very quick idea that Riddle is massively popular. So I think Riddle. Nikki Cross, maybe. She's got that new gimmick, and they might want to get behind it. But I think Liv Morgan has got the fans, to be honest. I think she's got a very strong fan base that she's built up. And I think that they'll look to pull the trigger with her. There's been a bit of a story about how was she going to be included? Was she being robbed out of being in the match? Was Sonya going to put her in? Like, she's been a big part of the build. So I kind of look at that and think, looks to me like they are going to go with her. Looks like we're going to get Liv and Riddle would be my predictions. But they're maybe not the two that I want. I don't mind Riddle, but I would personally go with Naomi. So that's who I think. That's who I would like. I don't mind if Liv gets it. I'm not like a Liv hater. I'm still waiting to see something from her. Do you know what I mean? She's had a couple of good matches, but she's not really done anything more than that. So I can't really say that I'd be crazy to see her get the briefcase and then cash it in, because I don't feel like she's worthy of being champion at the moment. I don't think she's done anything to warrant me being excited for her to be a champion. So I want to see her in a feud. I want to see her overcoming some odds. I want to see, some storyline for her, because she's really not long out of the Riot Squad. And her little solo run before just was a creative disaster. Not her fault. But, that whole Rusev, Lana wedding. So, I'm going with Riddle. Riddle and Liv, I think, win. I would take Riddle and Naomi. Liam Costa says, I'm okay. I had a lot going on with mental health and work. It's good to be back watching again. Also, hello to everyone else. Aww. Shout out to you, Liam. Glad you're back, buddy. Glad you're feeling better as well. I think there's going to be quite a few familiar faces that maybe have just took a break from wrestling in a while that might be coming back tonight, and that's totally understandable. I think that, as you said, Raw in particular has been a little bit of a challenge in this year. I think when they were at the Performance Center, it was different. And then I think they went to the Thunderdome at the right time to keep it fresh. So Performance Center stuff was not brilliant, but the pandemic was, we're in the middle of it all. And then, so you understood. Then they went to the Thunderdome. That freshened things up. But, oh my God, I think we needed fans about WrestleMania time. I think maybe even just before. I think if we'd have managed to have had fans around since WrestleMania, I think we would be in a much better place right now. But I think these months since WrestleMania have been a bit challenging. 2021 overall has been a bit challenging. The build for WrestleMania wasn't brilliant. But you do have to keep reminding yourself that there's been a pandemic and it's been very difficult circumstances for WWE. So I don't want to be laying into them. We all know that it's not been brilliant, but that's why tonight is so exciting. Kind of feels we're all hoping that they've been saving big shocks, big surprises, big moments, OMG moments, great storylines. Kind of hope that they've been saving them for tonight, because obviously we're building to Money in the Bank, but after tonight we build to SummerSlam that's going to be in a stadium. It's only the second SummerSlam to be in a stadium, I believe. 60-odd thousand, massive matches rumoured. So yeah, we're building towards one of the biggest shows of the year after Money in the Bank. But so yeah, lots to look forward to. Liam said, what do you think about Lashley versus Goldberg at SummerSlam? It's not the match that I would book. I would do Fiend versus Goldberg, and I would have Fiend win. I think Fiend deserves to get a win against Goldberg. We don't know how. I mean, Goldberg, his contract is for 2 matches a year. I mean, once he's had the match this year, is that it? Is he done? Would he sign again for another 2 matches, or what happens? Because Goldberg, we haven't seen him all that much. He did, obviously, the match at Royal Rumble where he put Drew over, and now he's having a match here. He could do another couple of matches, but obviously we don't know. I mean, he might be looking to stop. He might be looking to, this be his retirement match or something. So my personal opinion is that before he goes, he needs to put the Fiend over. He needs to give the Fiend the win that he kind of took from him, that should have been the Fiend's in Saudi Arabia. So I kind of think that at some point The Fiend should face him. That would excite me a lot more. I'd be into that more than I would be into Goldberg and Lashley. But it's not the worst idea because it gives Lashley like a big name to get a victory over. And the thing with Goldberg is you never quite know. Do you know what I mean? Like, you never quite know. He seems to, like, Vince seems to really like him and rate him. So you never quite know if they're going to put the belt on him. So it could be that they put the title on him. I don't think they will. I don't think they will because he's only contracted to 2 matches a year. So why would you put the title on him? So I'm not expecting the belt to go on Goldberg. I think it's just going to be a good big name for Bobby to beat. But it's not the match I would personally do. I think part of the problem as well is that because we know that it's 2 matches a year, I think we know that Bobby's winning. So it's not the opponent that I think Goldberg should face. And it also means that we know that Bobby's winning. So it makes that match a bit predictable. Yeah, it's a good opponent for him to beat. So there are some positives, but I don't know. I've not seen much excitement about the announcement. I don't think Goldberg's very popular in 2021, to be honest. I think, he was popular because of WCW. That's 20-odd years ago. It's 20-odd years ago. This is a very different crowd. I just don't think people are that into him. But I must be wrong because they keep going back to him. They keep using him. Vince, there must be some numbers that suggest that Goldberg's a legend and still massively popular. I think what he did in WCW was brilliant. The way he was booked was fantastic. But this ain't WCW. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've never been bothered by Goldberg. He's never been someone that I've really had that much time for. So, it's hard to get excited now. Now that he's at the end of his career. Liam said, I just didn't want you to think it was anything about you, which is why I left, as I love this channel. I've been a supporter for a long time. Yeah, no, that's no worries, dude. There's people that come and go all the time. So, I never really think that. So, no worries at all. I get it. Like, do you know what I mean? People have got things going on in their lives and whatever, and we're just always here for people to pop in and share their thoughts on wrestling, ask some questions if they've been out the loop, throw in some theories, and then if they want to step away for a bit because they've got stuff going on, but then they come back in a month or whatever, we're just always here. We're always here. So, shout out to you, bud. Austin said, Goldberg needs to put Fiend over in his last 3 matches. This company has got writers that don't even know the name of their champion, but we're hoping that they're saving all their good storylines, says Matt. It's a good point. I think that, though, they got rid of that writer because I think they were very embarrassed by that. Still doesn't change the fact that I've got question marks about the other writers. You're right. I mean, some of the stuff that she said, if you didn't hear that story, there was a writer that got hired. A few days later, she got released. She did a podcast where she was saying that, if you know anything about her, it's a bit strange to see her in WWE. She doesn't really know the product. She was like, I think he hangs around Bobby Lashley. I think she got his name wrong as well. And she was like, he hangs around with some people, I think they're called the Hurt Business. And they're like, oh, look at us. And it's just like the way she was talking was like, oh my God, I don't think she's watched any WWE product. Like, she might have watched a little bit once she got the job. But in my mind, I hope she did the classic lie on the CV. Do you know what I mean? On the CV, like, I've been a lifelong wrestling fan. That'll look good. Yeah, and you put it in and everything. And then, like, you get the job, and you're like, oh my God. But now all of a sudden, you need to try and fake, 40 years of wrestling knowledge that you've learned over your life. All of a sudden now you've got to try and pretend that you know loads about wrestling. So I'm hoping that she just lied on her CV. Edward said, breaking news. I read Becky is going to be at Money in the Bank. What do you think of that happening? I think it could happen. I really do expect Becky this weekend. She's in great shape. Lots of pictures of her in the gym getting ready. She's coming back. We know she's coming back. I can't see why you wouldn't bring her back this weekend. I think for me, Becky is going to be the big shock. Obviously, lots of rumours about Goldberg on Monday. So Goldberg Monday as we build towards Goldberg Lashley. Becky Money in the Bank, I think, makes sense. I think out of all of the shows, tonight is the hardest. I think tonight, of the shows that we're getting this weekend, and by the way, we are doing watch-alongs, right? We're here for Money in the Bank. We're here for Raw. I think of the 3 shows that we're getting, tonight is the hardest to go, this is going to be your big surprise. I don't know. I'm not sure what it's going to be. There might not be one. I would think there was. It might just be an NXT call-up, though. You know? It might just be what WrestleVotes was saying. It might just be that for tonight. Or it could be that, you know, we get Sasha coming back. Or it could be that they throw some legends in there. There's a few people saying that what WrestleVotes... Because WrestleVotes didn't actually name anyone. They just said Too Sweet. So it might be something along the lines of, like, the NWO. You might get Hogan, Hall, Nash come walking out. Do you know what I mean? There could be some, like, legends that get involved tonight. So you could get something like that. I'm definitely expecting a few things. I'm not expecting, like, one thing. I'm expecting a few things. I'm just trying to not 100% what the big thing is going to be. But, I mean, look, you've got the stage, you've got fans back, you're going to get a couple of surprises. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great show. I even think the card looks all right. I mean, Bianca Belair versus Carmella with for a title match. That's going to be great. Edge and Mysterios versus Roman and Usos. Big E versus Kevin Owens versus King Shinsuke versus Seth Rollins. Like, I think the card looks decent tonight, considering it's a go-home as well. Why would you just insert Balor onto SmackDown? Who would it be against? Well, I think it's just a call-up. You know, I think he's done in NXT. I think that he's a decent name. He could be a credible opponent for, like, Roman eventually. But you could have him go after that mid-card belt. If Balor's going to be no nonsense, I mean, honestly, Balor is Intercontinental Champion. Sign me up. I said I don't think that it's not working with Apollo. I don't think that mid-card title feels prestigious at all. Apollo is bringing the IC belt down. So I would actually put the title on Balor. I think Balor could, you know, you could do an Apollo Intercontinental Open Challenge. Balor comes out, beats him for the title. Then that'll set up a rematch of Balor versus Apollo in the future. And just, you know, give Balor a really good mid-card title run. And then, you know, you could look to get him ready to compete for the big one against Roman. Depends how you're going to bring him up. Are you going to bring him up as that kind of badass babyface, or how are you going to bring up Balor? Is he a heel? Is he a face? I mean, down in NXT is sort of a lone wolf. Do you know what I mean? He'll do what he has to do to win. You don't care if he has to beat up babyfaces or heels. He's a bit of a tweener, but probably leaning more babyface. So if he's going to keep that, then I'd probably have him go after Apollo. Days, when do you think WWE will start touring the UK again? They're doing it later this year, bud. They're doing it later this year. They've got, is it 5 dates? They're going to London and Newcastle and Dublin and other places. So, yeah, they are coming at the end of this year. Definitely search for tickets if you want to try and go. Cause tickets might be available now. I'm not 100% sure. I never looked, to be honest. Marco said, I think Sasha returns tonight. Febin said, Ringside is reporting that Wrestling Days is backstage at the show tonight. It's true. It's true. As soon as I thought about, an Apollo Open Challenge, which isn't happening, by the way, but it could happen, I was like, I need to get there. Because either I could win the title or I could be back up. Someone's going to have to deal with Commander Aziz, and it might be this guy right here. It might be this guy. Who do you think will get the biggest pop tonight? Also, remember Triple H welcomed us to the PC on the first show in March of last year. Oh, he did, you're right. He was like, on the top, wasn't he? And he was like, blah, blah, blah. And the camera swoops down and we saw the PC for the first time, so you're right. So Triple H kind of welcomed us to the pandemic era. He can welcome us back to the real world. So excited. On screen right now, we've got the Thunderdome. And I hate the Thunderdome. I'm looking at the Thunderdome now, and I detest it. I hate it. Like, it's fake crowd noises. It's just screens where people are being told how to react. Yeah, I hate the Thunderdome. I did like it at first. It was much better than the Performance Center, but as I said, for me, it outstayed its welcome. You could do the Thunderdome for a couple of months, but I mean, flip, we had it for about 10 months or something. We had it forever. So, yeah, I won't be sorry to say goodbye to that. But, no, yeah, you're right. I think Triple H welcoming us tonight would be really, really cool. Really, really cool. Hang on. Jamie said, do you like the new F1 Silverstone formats with the qualifying and everything? That's a weird shout. Silverstone qualifying, I've only seen a little bit of it today. I understand there's a race tomorrow. Winner of that sorts out the grid order. Yeah, I like it. I mean, I can't say I'm watching it, to be honest, so it's not changing anything for me. For me, I'll still just tune in on Sunday. So, I suppose it makes the weekend. If you're into it, it makes it more exciting, I think. But if you're not into racing or F1, I don't think it's going to change anything. I'm still probably going to just watch on Sunday if I'm up and see how Hamilton does. So, yeah, I mean, it's cool. If you're into it, I think it's a good change. Michelle said, I like the new set. It reminds me of Mania 35. Well, let me show it again for anyone that hasn't seen. That is the new set. As I said, it is dividing opinion. I don't hate it. There's not really anything to hate. It's just a big screen, so it's hard to hate. But as I said, I personally would have liked something that would get you very excited to see in person, like the Smackdown Fist. The Smackdown Fist is iconic, and I just kind of miss something like that. This is just a giant screen. So it's cool. It's going to look cool on camera. The big thing that I keep hearing is that they're going to use a lot of augmented reality. They're going to use a lot of graphics that we will see at home that they won't see in the arena. So there will be stuff added that we get to see. So I don't know what that means. I don't know what it looks like. But yeah, we'll see. We'll find out. I think it's going to be hard to judge these entrances by what you're seeing here. So we'll see. Steph has said there's going to be a whole new presentation tonight. Starting with when the fans come back, they're going to look at changing quite a few things, not just the set. There's going to be more than that changes. So that's what it looks like if anyone was unsure. It's nice. It is nice and clean, though. It is nice and clean. Fresh is the word I'm going to use. It's fresh. So, Michelle, shout out to you. Hope you are well. Hope you are excited. Daze, do you think that we will see much of the pyrotechnics now they aren't in the Thunderdome? Oh, there'll be loads of pyro. They cut down on pyro, but I think they felt that it was then the entrances weren't grand enough, so they brought it back. But I think they brought it back before the Thunderdome. I can't remember when it came back, but it didn't come back with the Thunderdome. I think pyro has been back for quite a while, like even before the pandemic era set in. So, yeah, I think there'll still be pyro. I'd be surprised if there wasn't. I mean, the only thing I could think if it would mess up with the augmented reality. So if when they come out they've got like, I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know how, like they could put buildings next to them for like the Street Profits. Street Profits could come out. You could have like a building background. They could put like buildings and whatnot all around them, and the stage could look quite full with like these graphics of things that aren't actually there. But I don't know if pyro might interfere with that. That'd be the only reason I'd think they'd cut down on it. Did you see that it was reported about Balor returning tonight? If this actually happens, I will go crazy. What is your opinion on Balor returning? I think there's a chance for it. I think it's been teased by WrestleVotes, and I think they're a very reliable source. I think what they were saying, though, was too sweet, and there was a few people saying, well, could that not be Adam Cole? Could that not be Kevin Hall and Nash? Could that not be like the NWO? Maybe it's implying there's going to be some legends instead. So I think Balor's the most likely. I think a Balor call-up would be good. I think he definitely deserves to come back to the main roster. I'm not sure that he wants to come back to the main roster. I'm not sure. But, yeah, I think it'll be good, man. I'm down for really whatever we get tonight. I think whatever we get tonight is going to be so much better than usual. I mean, don't forget, we've watched some bad shows, man. It's hard to not get pumped for tonight. I don't care if they give me Balor, Aaliyah, or whoever the flip they want to roll out, whatever it is. We're going to be in for a good show, lots of talking points. Sign me up. Sign me up. Mitchell says, I miss each show and pay-per-view getting it one set. It was always something I look forward to. Like when they were in Vegas, they had a casino theme set. Yeah, I understand that. I understand that. I think that I'm thinking that this set is going to allow them quite a bit of versatility. Like they will be able to add graphics in for. I mean, I do agree. I still don't think it's going to look as good as if you've got like a themed set. I think for Money in the Bank, I can imagine there being a lot of ladders around as usual. So I think for Money in the Bank, they do still tend to decorate a little with ladders and everything. But I think in regards to SmackDown, we need to see. They seem to be really into this augmented reality. I know I keep mentioning it, but it's one of the big things that Steph was going on about. So I have to think that that's going to be a big part of the show tonight. So, yep. Do you think we'll see Mia Yim? Could do. Yeah, she was someone that's rumoured to be coming back at some point. So I think Mia Yim is definitely a good shout that we could see. And apparently when she comes back, she won't be known as Reckoning. She will be known as Mia Yim. So, yeah, we could absolutely see Mia Yim. Keith Lee is someone that people are really clamouring for. We've said before, though, the thing with Keith Lee is I think there's a problem with copyright on Keith Lee. I don't know that he's out injured or that he got coronavirus or anything like this. And obviously, I hope he didn't. I hope it is something like copyright that can be resolved and he can come back and he's healthy and everything. So, but apparently he tried to trademark the name. WWE want to trademark the name. There's a dispute as to, who's going to own the name and how they're going to move forwards. And that's all I've heard. I haven't heard anything about a sickness or an illness or an injury. The only thing I've heard is about this copyright dispute. So it's hard to know when he might come back. So I don't know when that's going to get resolved. But apparently Mia Yim is quite close to doing something and coming back. And she'll come back as Mia Yim, which is so much better. So much better. I liked her NXT gimmick. Her NXT gimmick she had great entrance music, actually. I really liked her entrance music. She maybe could have worked in Hit Row, thinking about it. She had that kind of swag to her. She had that kind of Hit Row vibe. She had a bit of like a gangster vibe. She had the scarf over a bandana over her face, and she had like hip hop entrance music, and she maybe could have worked in that group. But can I just say as well that I don't know if I mentioned it, but I really like the new Hit Row shirt. I'm not a fan of Hit Row. I think to me they strike me as they strike me as a group of people trying to be cool rather than cool people, right? But I do like their new shirt. Their new shirt looks really cool. I think they've done a very good job with the new shirt. They were wearing it on a couple of days ago on Wednesday. I only mention it because as we're waiting for the show to start on BT, they're just showing us a few of the shows from the past week, and they've got SmackDown from last week on right now. But before that, they had NXT, and I was just looking at the Hit Row shirt, thinking, yeah, that's really cool. It's a good shirt. There's no scheduled matches. Everyone can call wrestlers out, invade locker rooms, and do whatever they want for one night. That's my purge idea, says Satiriak. Hasib said, Days, how do you see the six-man going? I see it going with one of the Mysterios pinning the Usos, then the Usos win the titles on Sunday. Could go that way. That is it the kickoff show match? Mysterios versus Usos? I'd definitely put the titles on Usos. I don't think the belts need to be on the Mysterios anymore. I'm not really excited by the Mysterios. I like Rey. I just don't care about Dominic. So, yeah, I think I'd put the belts onto the Usos as well. So I'll be quite happy if it goes that way. Jim Gore says, the match I'm excited to see this weekend is Quinn McKay versus Mandy Leon. If Quinn wins, she is the Ring of Honor women. She's in the Ring of Honor. Oh, I didn't know they were doing another match. I didn't know she was fighting again. I knew she had one. I didn't know she was having another. So, interesting. Daze, do you think after the rumoured rivalry between Cena and Roman, there needs to be a continuation of the Cena and Fiend rivalry? I think that match needs to be explained. I think we need to get some answers. I've said this before. With the Fiend character and Bray, there's a lot of teases. There's a lot of unexplained things that you can have fun with theories on, but nothing tends to get explained. So, you know, like we still don't know about the puppets. Are they being controlled? Are they not being controlled? Are they puppeteers or they're not? Where is the Funhouse? Like, in regards to the Funhouse, how is it that people can burn down sets backstage? How is it that Adam Pearce can deliver a letter there, but yet Cena seemed to magically disappear from WrestleMania 36 stage and just appear in the Funhouse? Like, there's a few loose ends that you can't quite get your head around. Like, how did Pearce deliver the letter to Bray? If it's a physical place, if we're saying the Funhouse is physical and it's backstage and that's how Pearce did it, then why at WrestleMania 36 was Cena on the entrance ramp and then seconds later he was inside the Funhouse? Like, it's all a bit loose. And I think that in order for, like, you know, things to stay on track and whatever, you need to give people some answers along the way. There's got to be some reveals along the way that's got to satisfy. So, do they need to continue the Cena Fiend story? I would say so, because it was so big and it was left unresolved, and we still don't know what the Firefly Funhouse match was. It had some great imagery. I mean, I said at the time it was fantastic for its imagery and the story that it was telling. I still don't get it. I really thought we were going to get some explained, like, but I still don't get it. You know, I thought, you know, even if they'd have come out after WrestleMania and said, like John Cena had said, that he woke up in the medical facility backstage and he doesn't remember what happened. Even if Cena came out and said, I was on the entrance stage about to do the match and I fainted, next thing I know, I'm in the medical facility. I don't know what happened. I can't even quite remember the things that you lot saw, but I know that I don't feel the same, or I haven't felt the same since. Like, there needs to be something. So, yeah, I do think they need to continue it. A lot of people would probably say that Cena should come back as a heel as well, because he seemingly turned during that little, whatever it was, vignette. He seemingly turned because he finally swung the chair, didn't he, at Bray, which would imply that he's finally embraced his darker side, and it would imply that he's a heel now. So I think if Cena comes back as, like, you know, never give up and a babyface and everything, it's just going to confuse things even more. Then it's going to be like, oh, what was that Firefly Funhouse thing about? I thought he had turned heel, or... Yeah, I don't know. So yes, I would love some answers. Jay Swiss says, what do you think about WWE's handling of the Jimmy Uso incident? I thought it was handled very poor, to be honest. I think this ignoring it approach isn't the right approach. I kind of personally think you take him off TV for a while. I understand the story's quite important of a united bloodline. It's very important. And so I understand that they maybe felt a need of, we've got to get this done. Like, this is building towards something, but I don't know. I mean, He's not been suspended. To our knowledge, he's not been fined. It's very, very public that he's, DUI again. It's not even the first time. Even if it was the first time, though, what message does that send out? Like, kids and everyone knows that, he's done this. It's a bad look. I understand that it's like, that we'll deal with it behind closed doors or whatever, but it's just a bad look. It's a bad look, and I think that they should have done something, and seemingly they haven't, because apparently the storyline is of greater importance, which, again, just doesn't really sit very well, does it? So I think people like Jimmy Uso. I don't think he's a bad person. I just think he's got problems. I just think that he's ill and needs help and maybe needs rehab and needs, all of that. Because I think if you do it once, then, you could say it's bad judgment. To do it twice, 3 times, at some point we have to say there's potentially an alcohol problem here. I don't believe you can be that stupid where, you get caught once, you almost lose your job, so you think it's all right to do it again, and then you think it's all right to do it again. Like, yeah, it didn't sit well last week. But, I can't say I was surprised either. I can't say that when I saw him, like, the fact that WWE just carried on and ignored it. I mean, we can go through quite a few examples where WWE have done that. So, yeah, I didn't like it. I disagreed with it. That's it. Edward Brown said, Days, is it tonight that Cena returns? I don't think so, bud. I don't think so. Cal. Hello, Cal. Cal W said, Davey Boy Smith Jr. is wrestling before SmackDown. That's interesting. Hadn't heard that. Hadn't heard that Davey Boy Smith Jr. was getting a little trial. I would think that NXT UK would be the place for him, to be honest. I think he's got quite a bit of experience. I think that he's well-travelled. He's obviously been in New Japan. He's been in MLW. He's worked in quite a few different promotions. I think that having him around would just strengthen NXT UK a little bit. There might be some people that would like to see him on Raw or SmackDown, in all fairness. I wouldn't be against that. He's obviously got a great relationship with Natalya. So I wouldn't be against it. But, yeah, my first reaction is he should probably get hired and go to NXT UK. I like him. I really like him. I wish him all the best. So that's cool. I hadn't heard that. Wrestle with Andy. Shout out to you, bud. Wrestle with Andy said, Days, in the words of Rod Stewart, tonight's the night. Tonight's the night. It's gonna be alright. That is true. Shout out to you, Wrestle with Andy. Eric Defcon Prime Dirigi says, Days, thank God you're live. I feel that way as well. Been suffering from panic attacks. Only thinking about SmackDown, Slammiversary, and Money in the Bank is keeping me grounded. Dude. Sit down, take some breaths, deep breaths. Chill out. Get excited. Get distracted. Because we are, 19 minutes away. 19 minutes away, buddy. 19 minutes away from a new set. From hopefully a big open with Steph and Triple H. Some returns, some NXT call-ups. I don't think it'll be the start of new stories, but you might get a little summer. Because obviously I think they're still going to want the focus to be on Money in the Bank. I think that's something that we're kind of missing or not talking about enough. And that is that, yes, there will be stuff tonight, but they're still going to want you talking about Sunday, excited for Sunday, tuning in on Sunday. So anything they do tonight, they can't really afford to overshadow Sunday. This is a go-home show for Money in the Bank. They want you tuning in on Sunday. So, yeah, I think whatever you get tonight is surely going to help promote Sunday. That's what they want you focused on, talking about, thinking about. Can't wait for Sunday. Going to tune in on Sunday, blah, 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 blah. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, shout out to you, Eric. Glad you're around, bud. We have waited too long, says AHR Finest. We deserve this. I completely agree. Completely agree. WWE should hand out free medals. If you've watched every Raw and every SmackDown, and you can prove it somehow, like, show that you've been subscribed, yeah, to their whatever channel it's being shown on, and show that you tweeted out or something. If you watched every Raw or every SmackDown during the pandemic era, you should get like shares in the company. You should get like a flipping medal that gets sent through for free on behalf of WWE. So yeah, you're right. We deserve it. Omeron said, "Days, the crowd is full." Celtic or Rangers? Rangers. I don't know why Rangers, but I think Rangers is a cooler name than Celtic. And also, I prefer the blue kit to the green and white. It's just a bit of an odd colour choice. So, we were saying that about the new TNT title, actually, on AEW. Green and white. It's a bit weird. So, yeah, I'm a Rangers. Sam Bellissimo. Hard not to do that. Says, Austin Theory just had a dark match with some others. He was one of the rumours for being on the show, you know. So, that's interesting. You see, this is maybe why you have to just take everything with a pinch of salt. Like, when you hear a lot of rumours and you hear a lot of stuff about, this person, what you think about this, what you think about that, it's always better to just go, do you know what, I'm just going to watch the show. It's always better to go, like, rather than get too bogged down in all of that stuff, because, yeah, it's fun, it's exciting, I get it. But, like, Austin Theory was a name that I saw a lot of people talking about. Austin Theory was tagged himself in a hotel room with his location. I think, after a while, they do it on purpose to get people talking. They do it because it's just free buzz, isn't it? It's free press. I don't blame them for it. But if he's had a dark match, then maybe you don't see him tonight on the show. So, yeah, that was definitely one of the NXT call-ups that I was thinking about when we were talking about it, because I'd seen, obviously, that picture and a lot of people buzzing around the fact that he was in Houston. So, interesting if he's had a dark match. Edward says, "No, I'm a Celtic fan." That makes a lot of sense, Edward. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely Rangers. The new set is literally just a big screen, says Syndrome. Yeah, it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but I think it looks fresh. I think it looks nice. And it's got quite a bit of space for this augmented reality. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see how they use it. And then, we'll give our thoughts after. Days, if green shirt guy isn't there. Oh, yeah. Good shout. I didn't even think about green shirt guy. Good shout, yeah. He better be there. He better be there. Like, are fans really back at all if green shirt guy isn't there? That's a great question for people to ask on Twitter. If green shirt guy isn't there tonight, are fans even back? Question mark. Good tweet. Vape Ross Vape said, Xia Li versus Aaliyah has also happened before SmackDown. Interesting. I wonder if they're filming that for, like, main event or something. Is Sasha going to be back? We don't know for sure. I would expect her to come back at some point. I don't know that it's tonight, but I'd expect it to be this week, next week, like sometime soon. She's got to come back as we build towards SummerSlam. Guy, who makes tutorials, shout out to you, says, Days, would you watch Brock Lesnar 2002 versus Lashley? Yeah, I'd love Lesnar Lashley even now would be cool. OG Lashley, OG Lesnar, I haven't got a problem with either. Yeah, that match would be great. I think I'm more excited about Lashley versus Roman, though, with Paul Heyman, like, not knowing who he needs to represent. I love that. I'm more into that than I am into Lashley Lesnar, but Lashley Lesnar would be great. I don't know if they'd have Paul Heyman represent him. I think Paul Heyman, it would be really cool if he did. Like, he still represents. Could you imagine if he represented Lesnar on Raw and Roman on SmackDown, and then at Survivor Series they face each other, and that's how you get Paul Heyman going, and he's not knowing what to do. That'd be awesome. That would be great. That would be great. Retro Squared Circle said Cena versus Goldberg on the cards, ? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think that would be a good idea either, to be honest. I think you need to put a legend with like someone on the roster. So like you need to do Cena versus Roman. You need to do Goldberg versus Lashley. Like you're taking a legend and then you're putting them on against someone that's on the roster week in, week out. And honestly, the person on the roster week in, week out should win. Like, the legends should be there to just put over the roster stars. It's just a way of saying what you're getting now is the best right now. You know, these are better. What you're watching week in, week out is better than Goldberg. It's better than Cena. It's better than all these legends. So, yeah, I wouldn't put those two together because, you know, if Cena beats Goldberg, who cares? If Goldberg beats Cena, who cares? We never see him. So I'd be more inclined to have them face, like, roster stars. Trent says, Days, have you seen Brock recently? He grew out his beard and his hair is in a short ponytail. I did. Thebin said, Days, what do you think about the trade between Mandy and Aaliyah? My belief is it's more than just a trade, and Mandy was took away from Raw for the eventual debut of Scarlett, who is a similar gimmick. Maybe, yeah, maybe. Could be some in that. We know that they've given Carrion. Have they given Scarlett a trial match at all? I know they've done Carrion on main event, but I don't know if they've like done anything with Scarlett yet. I can't say I've heard that she's had a trial match, but yeah, I know that Carrion came up on his own at main event. Scarlett wasn't around, so I know that got people talking that they were looking to potentially split them up. So I think for me the split is strange because Mandy was in a tag team, and I think that Aaliyah is someone that has never really got out of first gear, to be honest. I always remember Aaliyah from Breaking Ground, which was a show from years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. And Aaliyah was there, and they said to her to cut a promo, and she was new, and she was awful. She was awful. It would be like asking a random stranger that has never seen wrestling to try and, you know, be a wrestler. She was that bad. And I always remember her from that, and I always remember thinking, she ain't going to make it. Like, she ain't got it. Like, she ain't going to make it. But for some reason, they stuck with her. For some reason, they kept her around, and obviously, year after year after year, house show after house show after house show, she's improved, and she's got to the point now where she's actually not too bad. Like, she can cut a promo. She's pretty solid in the ring. She's still, though, not... Do you know what I mean? They're not calling her up to be a future champion or anything. Well, certainly, I don't think so. So, my impression is that she's probably coming up to be, you know, just to put a few women over, be a little bit of, like, an enhancement talent. But I'm sure they'll give her a bit more than that. They don't tend to have, like, Brooklyn Brawlers anymore. But I would imagine that she's going to be someone that comes down, has matches, takes a lot of L's. A bit like Dana Brooke. You know what Dana Brooke's been doing? Dana Brooke, you know, she's had a few things to do, but she's taken a lot of losses. And Dana Brooke's never troubled, like, the main event scene. I think they're just... It's not something that I'm that bothered by, to be honest, because I don't think they're calling her up to be a massive star. I think they're just going to use her as, like, a Dana Brooke-type character. But we'll find out, won't we? We'll find out. But that's an interesting theory. That's an interesting theory that they've took Mandy away because Scarlett's a bit similar. It's an interesting theory. Whackin' Uribe said, the British Bulldog's son was on a dart match with Theory. Oh, is that who they wrestled each other, did they? That's interesting. We heard that Theory had a dart match, and we heard that Bulldog did. I didn't put 2 and 2 together that they'd wrestled each other, so that's cool, man. As I said, I like Theory. I think he had a bit of, like, trouble, though. It wasn't because he was on the main roster before, and he ended up getting sent back to NXT. So, and I think it was because there was a few allegations that were made against him. So I'm not sure if they will now resurface or if in WWE's mind that's all in the past. So I really like Theory. I think what he's doing in the way is brilliant. So I really like that. I don't know if those allegations and everything are going to pop back up, though. That's a slight concern. And Bulldog, as I said, should go to NXT UK. I think it'd be great there. Did you see my other super chat? I don't know, dude. Did I? Oh, the Bulldog one. Yes, I did. Jay Swiss said those next 2 weeks are absolutely crucial for WWE. If they drop the ball, there's no doubt we'll hear loud AEW chants. Would we? Because I do think there's a large part of the WWE audience that are... I mean, if you go on Twitter, there's a lot of arguing between WWE fans and AEW fans. And I don't know that we would hear AEW chants, to be honest. We might see the odd T-shirt where, fans of both, some people go with it. We've already seen that. And people were told to take the shirts off. I don't think they'd do that now. I'm not sure. But a whole crowd chanting AEW, I can't see, to be honest. I can't see. I think there's too much rivalry. Did we... I can't remember. I really can't remember. And someone might tell me, no, it did happen. You need to go to this show. But I honestly don't ever remember hearing WCW chants during the war. I don't remember the crowd chanting WCW. Because I think that it's a little bit tribal. I think you're either AEW or you're WWE. And if you like both, that's fine. Of course it's fine. And there's a good, healthy majority of people that do like both. But I can't see there being WWE chants at an A. If AEW is rubbish, and it has been, you don't hear WWE chants. And equally with this, I can't see there being AEW chants. I can't see it. I think it's too tribal. I think there's too many people that are like, one side or the other. Kind of, yeah. I can't see it. That wasn't green shirt guy. That was a random dude wearing a green shirt, not with the smile, trying to impersonate. Huh? Is there a picture of like a dude doing the rounds dressed as green shirt guy? That would be the best. Thebin said days before WWE, Scarlett had a diva gimmick similar to Mandy. Before teaming with Dana, maybe Vince is looking to bring her in that gimmick. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know what gimmick she was doing. I think she was in Impact, which I don't watch, so I honestly don't know. I mean, I personally wouldn't. I think her gimmick at the moment is quite interesting. I think you could explore her current gimmick, so I wouldn't go that way. But they might do. Who knows? Who knows what Vince wants to do? Glenn said, I tried to watch an AEW show, and the first show I ordered and watched, they made me believe the ring was about to blow up and that there was a bomb. It put me off AEW ever since, says Glenn. Yeah, I mean, I think they do, in all fairness, they do some good stuff. So there's some good stuff on AEW. Like this past week's show, I think I gave it like an 8. I thought there was a couple of matches that were really good. I think what they're doing with Jungle Boy is really good. What they're doing with Hangman Page is really good. Like, there's some really, really good stuff. But the stuff they do, that they go too far. I don't want to say they try too hard, but like they go too far. Like, that match didn't need to be an exploding barbed wire death match. It didn't need to be that. And, they've gone for it, and then the explosion has been, ridiculed because it was rubbish. And I know, like, these things happen or whatever, but that's a big botch. That's a big one. Like, your main event match is an exploding barbed wire death match. And you have Eddie Kingston run in and dive on top. And then Eddie Kingston sells it as well. When it doesn't go off and it doesn't go to plan, Eddie Kingston's still selling like he's been in a war zone. So, they explained it well. Eddie Kingston, in all fairness, did a good job of saying he had flashbacks of when he was in prison and all this. And, when there's those high-pressure moments, he's not ashamed to admit he can black out sometimes, because that's how you survive in prison sometimes, to block out what's happening around you. He did a really good job of explaining it. But I'm going to give him some credit and say they do some really good stuff as well. I don't think that any of the promotions are perfect, but I don't think any of the promotions outside of maybe Raw are completely awful. Maybe outside of Raw. Raw has been difficult. I would struggle to sit here and justify Raw, right? I would really struggle. Of all the shows, I would say for me that's the bottom of the barrel. How long we got? We got 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Jim said, I like wrestling. Only watch one promotion is like watching just one type of movie. Favorite SmackDown theme? Favorite SmackDown? I don't know what they're all called, to be honest. I don't know what they're all called, so I'd struggle to tell you the one that kind of stands out, but nothing recently. Is SmackDown that Are You Ready for a Good Time? Is that that's SmackDown, isn't it? Like the current one? That's awful. Awful. Hate that. Moldy Spoon says, this is it. I'm pumped. Woo! You're so pumped, mate. You've gone full on Ric Flair. Woo! That wouldn't be the worst way to start a show, would it? Have old the Nature Boy make his way down at some point. I think we've seen quite a bit of him, though, in all fairness. Once he impregnated Lacey Evans, I think he probably did need to step away for a while. Woo! Right, here we go. Here we go. 45 seconds. I'm so excited. We're almost there, baby. Here we go. Austin said, I still like Raw. Wow. I think they call that, Stockholm Syndrome or something, isn't it? Isn't it where you get abused, but you start to, really love your abusers? I think that's Stockholm Syndrome. I think you've got that. You need to go to the doctors. Right. Oh, this is the video they sent out. So this is, we're starting with the video from that Vince tweeted out of the superstars looking super sad. Here we go. It's starting. It is starting. It is starting for a year and a half. Something has been missing. Yeah, good creative. Good storylines that we care about. Is that what this video package is about? For a year and a half, something has been missing. Our creative department. Right, we're just looking back at, when the shows were good. Right. It's starting. It is starting. Edge is better than Roman. We're just hearing the this is awesome chants. And there's an emotional Bianca Belair. Megadrax says, welcome back, fans. Finally, they're back. Finally. Going Ghost said, Days, I really think NXT should have invaded Raw and kept the feud going for a while. It would help with storylines and viewership for both brands. Well, they did that around Survivor Series time. And it kind of ran its course. I don't really know what more you could have done. A couple of years ago, they had, AJ Styles on NXT. And they had, a group of NXT. Do you remember? That was when Becky busted her nose. That was when, she busted her nose as we built towards Survivor Series. And, yeah, we had NXT invading and all the different brands invading. So they did it. It was cool. But I don't think you could have got much more out of it. Right, video package is done. We are inside. It's packed, man. It looks awesome. Draven Dresden said tickets to Extreme Rules purchased. 20 rows back. Have a good time, dude. Have fun. Here's the crowd look, and lovely shot of the crowd. Oh, it's good, man. Oh my god, I've missed the crowd. Prime Edge versus Tribal Chief. Who have you got? Says Kevo. Roman. I think Roman's the best thing in wrestling. Yeah, I'd take Roman over Prime pretty much anyone. So there we go. Look, we've got shots of the crowd. Brilliant. Brilliant. I've missed them, man. So great to see. It feels a bit like normalcy. Here's some new graphics. Look, we've got like this little Smackdown. It's like a little Smackdown drone. And we've got, we're in Houston, Texas. Triple H. Mr. McMahon. No chance! That's what you've got! Okay. Hey, look, I'm never going to be upset at seeing Vince. I'll never be upset at seeing Vince. I wouldn't have started with Vince personally. But I'll never be upset about seeing him. Look. Where would wrestling be without this man? No chance! Crowd are really vocal, man. The crowd are really up for this. Vince is standing there. Look, he's got a big smile on his face. Where the hell have you been? Is that it? Is that it? Vince comes out and goes, where the hell have you been? And walks off. That's it. That's it. Yeah, that's all you get him. Where the hell have you been? Right, Roman. What reaction is he getting? Is Roman. I mean, WWE are going to want him to get boos. So, look, there we go. Look. Ah, nice. Nice. So that giant Roman CGI thing just moved. The giant Roman thing just went like this. And here's Roman making his way. Boos for Roman? Boos for Roman, is it? Sort of split, I think. I think this crowd are letting me down here. I can't quite call it. I can't quite call how they're reacting. I wanted, like, a big chant or something, like Roman, 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 Roman. Yeah, man, there should be, like, big Roman chants also. This guy is wrestling. This is the best thing going. Yeah, and there's a real mixture. It's a mixed reaction. I'm seeing people, like, cheering and clapping. I can hear people screaming, but then I can hear, like, a... It's mixed. It's mixed. Sandman says reactions are split. Mixed reaction. 50-50. It's very interesting. Isn't it? It's very interesting. I mean, look, they've portrayed him to be a heel. I don't know, man. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. I wanted Roman to get this massive reaction. He's been so good. He's been so good. And Texas has kind of gone a bit... They're reacting. The worst reaction would be no reaction. That would be the worst reaction. The worst reaction would be Texas going. It's not that. There's a definite reaction to Roman. So it's not the worst reaction, but it is like this 50-50 kind of... I think what needs to happen is we as a WWE universe, we need to get together on Twitter. We need to agree that we're all going to cheer him, right? We need to get a memo out. We need to get like a group email sent round to everyone. Right, there's Jimmy and Jay. There's Paul Heyman. Man, it is packed. It is rammed inside there. He is getting cheered. It's mixed. It's mixed. It's the recordings are the boos are recordings. Kids are booing and adults are cheering, says Corey. It could be recorded. I mean, in all fairness, I'm seeing people doing this. I'm seeing people put their thumbs down, and I'm seeing people that are clearly not cheering. And I can hear that it's a mixed reaction. Hello, Pyro. Yeah, they've certainly set off quite a bit of it, haven't they? Right, it'll be interesting to see what Roman's got to say. Draven said, the boos sound just like they have for the past year to me. Right, let's see what he's got to say. Right, here's Ray. The stage, I tell you what I like about the stage. It is very WrestleMania. Like, you look at that stage and it's huge and like... Right, here's the Mysterios. Oh, are we just... Oh. I thought there was a promo. I thought he was going to say a few words. I tell you what, the show feels big. With that stage, it feels like WrestleMania, doesn't it? Look at that, with like the different Rey Mysterio masks in the background. Dominic's first ever match in front of fans. Oh, they should definitely start a "Who are you" chant. Who are ya? Who are ya? Who are ya? Just imagine there'll be a big pop now. You think you know me? Come on. Here we go. Camera. There it is. That's a huge pop. That's a pop. That's a pop. That's huge. That's a massive pop. That's a massive, massive pop. That's big. That's a big pop for Edge. Give it to me. Oh, do you know, I mean, after them reactions, I'm starting to think now, are they going to pull the trigger on Edge? Are they going to pull the trigger on? Is Edge beating Roman or something? Because the pop that Edge just got, Roman's just got a mixed reaction. Edge has just got a massive pop. Pyro going off. The show feels big. This feels like a pay-per-view. Tonight feels like a pay-per-view. It's a big feel. Big, big show. Edge is still losing on Sunday, says Ryan. I don't want Edge to win the title. That just gave me chills, says Mike. Alex said the crowd is so much better than AEW. Bigger names equal bigger pops. An amazing attire for Edge. It's a great crowd. Jennifer said, let's be realistic. If we all cheered him, Vince would misunderstand and turn him face. What, if we cheered Roman? I don't know. I don't think Vince listens, to be honest, because how long were we booing Roman and they didn't turn him? How long has Cena been getting mixed reactions and they haven't turned him? I don't think just crowd cheers and boos are enough. I think Google searches, merch sales, YouTube views, all that kind of stuff goes towards the thinking. Plus also, you know, what Vince is feeling is a big one as well. What Vince wants to do supersedes everything. So, I don't know. I mean, if we're gonna... I think the worst reaction is no reaction. The next reaction after that is a mixed reaction. Then we all boo or we all cheer. And I think I was really hoping that we were all going to cheer Roman. I think we were all hoping that we were all going to be like getting behind Roman. Some people might be doing it. Some people might be doing it because it's the heel and it's what we're meant to do. Like, some people might just be being really good fans. Some people might be like, right, I've got to boo this guy as a heel. Boo! Do you know what I mean? Boo, you bad man. I got to tell you, if I was there, I'd be starting a Roman chant. Roman, Roman, Roman. Let's go, Roman. Let's go, Roman. I love him. I think it's the best thing in wrestling right now. Bigger than all that, though. Bigger than all that. Brilliant crowds. Great crowds. I think they're doing, like... that pop for Edge was huge. That was like Royal Rumble size pop. It was getting... blows you away kind of a pop, you know? So I think the pop for Roman was massive. I think they're on their feet. They've brought signs. Really vocal, really passionate. I did wonder if this match actually... We said at the start, I wonder if this match would start or if it would main event. I said I would do Steph and Triple H going into this match. Like, you start with something big to get the crowd going. They've gone that way. They didn't do Steph and Triple H. They started with Vince. Where the hell have you been? And that was it. Why didn't he say something like, welcome to Smackdown? Or something like that. Like, he just went, where the hell have you been? And then did a little bow and then shuffled off. And the crowd were like, is he going? Is something happening? So that was a little bit confusing, but yeah, I wonder what the main event's going to be. I'm guessing it's going to be that Big E, Kevin Owens, King Shinsuke, Seth Rollins match then. I'm guessing it'll go that way. Going Ghost said that Edge entrance was amazing. This is great. Let's go down. Mitchell said, what's the best wrestling show you've been to in person? Also, I'd like to see Roman versus AJ. They killed it together. I'd like to see that again, actually. Best wrestling show I've ever been to is the one I always mention, which is that indie show. It was actually Trent Seven's promotion. It was called Fight Club Pro. Something like that. Fight Club Live. Can't remember. I think it's Fight Club Pro. And it's a little indie promotion in Wolverhampton. It's Trent Seven's, but the reason it was the best is because he put on a mega show. The main event was Trent Seven, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate versus Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. And there's like 1,000 people in the room that could hold 500. It was rammed. So Penta was there. Will Ospreay was there. Zack Sabre Jr. was there. Leo Rush was there. Tegan Knox was there. It was just like this mega indie show. That's the best show I've ever been to. And also the UK tournament. That was amazing as well. Right. Bella sounded. Edge is in the ring. We've got Jey Uso, is it, starting us off? Face first and big cheer of the crowd. I bet there's a few nerves backstage, you know. Mitchell, shout out to you. Colby said, this is awesome. This is awesome. Right. Got Ray, and it's not bad, is it? I mean, look at Dominic. Dominic looks to his one side. He's got his dad, Rey Mysterio. He looks to the other side. He's got Edge. He's in good hands tonight, Dominic. Live this Sunday, Money in the Bank, streaming on Peacock. Nice takedown by Rey Mysterio. So that's it. We're back. Crowds are back. We're done with Thunderdomes. This is so much better. So much better. Breaking news. If you bought tickets from Ticketmaster for SummerSlam, check emails. Emails are being sent about tickets being sold by mistake. Roman is taunting the crowd. I love it, says Butterspark. Days, we needed green shirt guy in the front row. I'm wearing a green shirt tonight in his honor. Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, he doesn't tend to be at Raws and SmackDowns. He tends to do the Raw after WrestleMania, but he doesn't tend to be at, like, SmackDowns. Nice springboard moonsault by Dominic. Roman on the outside. Feel like the good old days, says JJB Gaming. William, what have you done? Why is your Twitter suspended again? What have you done now? What have you done now, William? What have you done now? Austin said, where's the Jesus-looking dude? And his mum. I think, aren't they? They're kind of pay-per-view only. Guys, if you want to see these people, you have to tune in on Sunday. Yeah? If you want to see those familiar names, you have to tune in on Sunday. WWE aren't going to give you them for free on SmackDown. If you want to see Green Shirt Guy and Jesus, you've got to tune in on... I like the fact that AEW have got their own Jesus now, but he's even more of a Jesus than the WWE Jesus. In comes Roman. Dominic gets chucked out the ring. Rey Mysterio starting to make his way round. So Dominic's down. Rey Mysterio coming round, just checking that Roman doesn't go too far. Roman in the ring with a snap suplex to Dominic. Paul Heyman on the outside, holding up that Blue Universal Championship. Dominic rolled out the ring. Roman jumps out the ring as well. Roman nodding, taking his time. Mitchell said, I'm going to miss seeing Santa on the screens in the background. What, in the Thunderdome? Dominic face first into the table. Already 20 minutes in here. I see Green Shirt Guy. He's more to the left. Oh, hello. We've got some breaking news, have we? Is he there? Has the legend actually gone out to a SmackDown? I mean, in all fairness, he should be in Texas for Money in the Bank. So thinking about it, 'cause Money in Bank's on Sunday. Could he be at this show? People are saying they might have spotted him. Guys, we are getting reports that Green Shirt Guy is in the crowd as we go to commercial break. So the excitement is real, and reports coming through that Green Shirt Guy might be in attendance. I vote that Dominic has some of the worst wrestling ring attire. He does look like a rejected superhero. Tony said, if I was Vince, I would have brought back the big gold and presented it to Roman. Oh, God, I couldn't agree more. Do you know what, Tony? I was literally just sitting here thinking that. Not big gold, but I was thinking, why is it that, AEW can change the TNT title 3 times since it got introduced, yet we still have this god-awful blue universal belt? It doesn't feel prestigious. That blue universal title just looks like a hot mess. I must admit, for a while when they changed it from red, I was like, right, that's better. Because I'd got bored of the red. So once they changed it to blue, I was like, I appreciated the refresh. That lasted about a week. It lasted about a week, whereby I was done then with the blue universal. So yeah, I wish they would bring in a title that feels worthy of being around Roman's waist. This blue thing's awful. So yeah, I'd totally take big gold. Totally take big gold. But I think it's definitely time for a new belt. Definitely time. I like the blue and yellow. It's Michigan colors, says William. Jaden said, 10 out of 10, this is the best show so far this year. Robin said, who cares, this show is excellent. Dominic's first time in front of a crowd, says Drippy King. McLean said, imagine if the augmented reality is just them being cheap and telling us to use our imaginations. Right, guys, now we want you to imagine some trees on the entrance stage. Yeah. I like the new animated graphics. Before, where you know that big giant Roman that was like CGI'd on, and like he'd be there. But now they've got them like actually moving. So now they're bringing some like animation to the graphics. The graphics are actually moving. It looked cool. I mean, it didn't do much, but it looked cool. We're seeing more companies use this. We saw UFC have started to use like augmented reality. Their tail of the tape is actually like above the ring. It's a graphic. And this past weekend, just gone, they had the pictures of the two fighters actually moving as you saw the tail of the tape. So, like, I don't know if this is like something you're seeing in baseball and basketball, but it does feel like past year, 2 years, we're starting to see this technology come in. I actually feel like Roman holding the belt helps me tolerate it, because I think it does feel prestigious because of an amazing character like Roman is holding it, says King Defiant. Heather says, we know the brand is the star with the stupid logo belts, not the superstars themselves. Right, we've got, how long are we at? 23 minutes in. Do you think Toni Storm debuts tonight? I don't think so. Last week for her video package, it said coming soon. So I'm not sure she debuts tonight, because I think they would have said next week if it was tonight. Right, big DDT by Rey Mysterio and Jimmy making the save. We've got both the Usos in. Dominic. No, that didn't look great. Dominic on the attack now. Springboard, crossbody to the outside, comes crashing down. Roman comes over, grabs Dominic, hurls him into the ring post. So Dominic gets thrown into the ring post. Roman is taking this quite slow. There's a sign in the crowd saying, I acknowledge you. Head scissor takedown by Rey. Rey going against the ropes, looking for a 619, getting caught by Roman. Driven into the edge of the ring. Thrown into the ring. Roman gets speared by Edge. Popped from the crowd for the spear, but it wasn't a great looking spear. Alright, in the ring we've got Rey. Jimmy, roll up. 2, kick out. Roll up, 1, 2, 3, and Jimmy gets the pin. Is it Jimmy or Jay? I always have to tell from the tattoo, and I couldn't see the arm. Think it's Jimmy. Yeah, it was Jimmy. There's Jay. Into the ring post goes Rey. Dominic comes in, so Roman and Usos get the win. So we are done with the first match. I can see Green Shirt Guy. He's more to the left. Well, I can't believe this. If they've moved him out of position. Edge just jumped in with a chair. Roman with a Superman punch. Spawn X Burton, shout out to you, my friend. Appreciate the support. Spawn X Burton says, shout out to you, Days. Thanks for all you do. Speaking on the belt, the blue doesn't bother me much. It's the lazy design that does. I wish they would put more effort into the design and not just a giant logo. Yeah, I agree with that. I think for me, for a belt to feel prestigious, it needs to have lots of nice detail. Has to have a lot of like intricate work on the belt. Like Big Gold was just, you know, a big gold plate, but it had a lot of engraving and a lot of designs and patterns. If you think about like the Winged Eagle and all the stuff that has on there. If you think about the AEW Championship, and do you know what I mean? Like you can. I think for me personally, a great belt is a belt that you can look at and you can find little details on, and you can kind of like explore in a way. Like you can look at the side plates and look at the detailing around the edge, and you can see like loads of stuff. With this, like after about 2 seconds, you're gone, yeah, right. Yeah, okay, I see that, yeah. To me, it's just there's not enough detail there. I completely agree. Right, Roman now has been put in that crossface, and Roman again, the bottom of that chair that Edge likes snapping off in the mouth of Roman. And look, Roman's tapping. Roman's tapping away. So, Spawn X Burton, shout out to you, buddy. Really appreciate the support. So, Edge grabbing that Blue Universal Championship. By the way, we've got both briefcases swinging away in the air. Well, not swinging, suspended. But they are above the ring. Edge holding up that championship. Roman down at his feet. Normally, if you stand tall on the go home, it means you're not winning. So that fills me with a bit of confidence. Right. Spear with Edge. They're just showing a replay. King Carl said, can you make a Funko Pop video? Maybe. Maybe been a while since we did the last one. Right. That's the first quarter of the show done, you know. First match. Vince welcome. Red hot crowd. What you got for us? What you got for us, SmackDown? Pretty solid first match. Great crowd. Right, Edge just staring at Roman. Roman down. Still to come tonight, we have got Big E versus King Nakamura versus Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. Fatal 4-way match tonight. Tonight. And that's it. Commercial break. Look at that fatal 4-way, says Mark A. Hicks. I don't think anyone is going to acknowledge Roman. There was someone that had a sign saying, I acknowledge you. Did you see that sign? I acknowledge you. I would as well. I'd do whatever he wanted. I'd be bowing. I'd be, you know what I mean? Thumbs up as he went past. I think he's awesome. William said, shout out to everyone, Days, for all I and all of us do for you. Without us, you are just a crazy man that's talking to sex bots and spam bots. You're welcome, says William. I appreciate it, William. I appreciate it. Although, in all fairness, I might enjoy it more if I was just sat here constantly talking to nothing but sex bots. I am now thinking, like, is that a stream that I would like to do? And I think it is, you know. So, I do appreciate it. But I am now also thinking, wow, could you imagine if there was just a stream where it's literally me just having a chat with sex bots? I'm down for giving that a go. Ryan said, I hope this show doesn't supersede Money in the Bank. Do you mean like be bigger than? No, I don't think so. I think there'll be a big surprise. I don't know if there's going to be a big surprise tonight. There could be. I had a feeling there would be, but I am just wondering now, like, yeah, I don't think they're going to want to overshadow Money in the Bank. I think they're going to want you talking about that, and if they bring someone back, then you'll be talking about them instead, so, I don't know. I reckon you'll get Summit tonight, though, and as we said, there'd been lots of rumours about the old Too Sweet, so I am expecting something. Money in the Bank men's ladder match is stacked. Days, breaking news, Sasha Banks could return tonight, says Justin. What are your thoughts on the crowd after the first match? Little disappointed with the Roman reaction, but as I said, better than no reaction. Much better than no reaction. And it was there was noise. It was a bit split. Some people cheering, some people booing. Edge pop was huge. Edge pop was massive. Edge pop was incredible. That's the best moment for me so far, Edge's entrance. Vince coming out was good. As I said, I'll never be down on seeing Vince. I mean, we don't know how long he'll be around for. And I can't imagine where wrestling would be without Vince McMahon, so I'm never down on seeing him. He got a good reaction. So, yeah, this is a crowd that are up for this. This is a crowd that, you know, they just want to be given things to cheer for. They want to be given stuff to get involved with, you know? So, I would be tempted to keep the matches quite short now. You know, give the crowd, like, chances to pop. Give the crowd things to get their teeth into. So I'd keep these next few matches quite short. That first match, you know, went half an hour or took up the first half an hour. I think we could probably get through a few things now. Hopefully there's something really big for them to react to, because I think this is a great crowd. Right, we're backstage with Edge and Dominic and Ray. Here's Kayla. Here's Kayla. Edge. Talking about Sunday. Ooh. Making Roman tap out like a beep. I might have to go to some places I've never been to before. Is he talking about Dickie's Arena? Has he never been to Dickie's? Maybe he's never been to Dickie's Arena. He's got to go places he's never been before. Here he is, old Driposaurus. The Driposaurus Rex. Red shirt, black suit, stars all over it, white stars. It looks quite the sight. Old Sefy boy. Seth Rollins, drip, drip. I think Roman will beat Edge on Sunday, says Nuke de Wales 200. Drip God Seth Rollins, the Drip Messiah, says Efren. Do you think they'll put the belt on Edge? I don't think so. I don't think so, but that was one hell of a reaction that he got. That reaction that Edge got is the kind of reaction that makes you go, It was huge. I'll finish what I started 7 years ago. Days, I definitely acknowledge Roman as the tribal chief. I really hope he doesn't lose the title any soon, says Matt. I'm right there with you, Matt. I'm right there with you, bud. Good luck! Good luck! Sami Zayn! Do you know, this screen's alright, you know. This screen is huge. This screen feels like WrestleMania. You see that? What? No. He's saying that Sami is purposefully being excluded. They want you to focus on all the happy things. Oh, look, a new entranceway. Look, shiny lights. There has been a conspiracy. Yeah, man. I like Sami. He's a really good promo, Sami is. He's a really good promo. He comes across like a madman. What you... Are they setting up for Balor? Are they setting up for Balor? Where's this going? Because he's not at Money in the Bank. So for him to be on the show, there's got to be a reason. Balor. I feel like someone's coming. Because he's been feuding with Kevin Owens. He's telling everyone to stand. Journey's getting justice for Sami chant. So, He's trying to get a justice for Sami chant. They're giving him a chance to talk. He's sort of winding the crowd up at the moment. He's talking about how Texas isn't on his side. I don't need you. Yeah, he's going off on one man. I want to know where this is leading. He's saying how he should be in the Money in the Bank. If there was any justice, that briefcase would be lowered right now. If there was any justice, that briefcase would be lowered right now and given to Sami Zayn. I sort of agree. I sort of agree. I love Sami. Oh, it is. It is. I won't let this show go on for one more minute. And here is Finn Balor making his way out. Balor returns. Balor returns. Yeah, man, it's cool. Nice little reaction as well. Look at the face on Sami Zayn. Can't believe what he's seeing as Finn Balor returns. Hopefully for good. Hopefully this isn't just a one-off, like for the crowds being back. Hopefully this is Balor back on SmackDown. Yeah, man, he looks shook. I wonder if they could add this as a match for Sunday. I wonder if we could get Sami and Balor. I'd be down for that. Be totally down for that. Screen looks great. Can I just say, I wasn't sold on that entrance stage, but it feels so big and like epic, and it just, they're not really doing anything that special with it. They're just displaying the great, but yeah, WrestleMania vibes, man. Look at it in the background. Look at the size of it. Look at the absolute size of it. It's absolutely dominated. So Balor is here. Finn Balor has arrived on SmackDown. Welcome back. And he goes right after him. Oof, plants him down. Can you believe Balor's here? Balor in the corner. Drop kick. Sami goes into the ring post. Balor going up, looking for the coup de grace. Comes crashing down onto Sami Zayn. Yeah, I think that certainly suggests to me that Balor is on SmackDown. Certainly suggests it. Finn Balor is back, and that's sort of confirmed by what Michael Cole just said. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Right, so Balor at the moment has got his arms in the air, and we're just seeing the crowd popping and reacting to Balor. Big stars, big returns. That might be your big return for tonight. That might be it for tonight. I don't know. I don't know that you're gonna get. I don't know if you're gonna get much more than Balor. You might do. You might do. We'll have to wait and see. Right. So Balor has made his way out, and Balor has returned to SmackDown, which is really good to see. It is great to see. I really do like Balor. I think Balor's done all he can do down in NXT, to be honest. He's had a title reign. I think his title reign was fine, but I think he's pretty much done all he can do. So, good to see him on SmackDown. Right, we should be going to commercial break now. Okay, now we've got Shotzi and Tegan. The tank is coming out. So Shotzi and Tegan have made their way out. I think that, to be honest, I'm wondering if this is why they're here. I wonder if they're here because of the tank. Do you think they're only here because of the tank? Right, Shotzi and Tegan making their way down. I think, did they just fire it into the crowd? I think they just fired the little thing out into the crowd. Right. Shotzi and Tegan. Hang on, let's change. Taking on Natalya and Tamina. Isn't that's who they faced last week, wasn't it? Right. Again, yeah. Shotzi and Nox, yep. Let's change it over. Shotzi and Nox versus Natalya and Tamina. Daze, do you think Mandy Rose will stay in NXT? I think so, bud, yes. I think so. I think there's been reports that they're looking to keep her down there, to be honest. So, yeah, I think we are looking at that. I think we are looking at her being down there for a while. So, I mean, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I think she is hopefully going to get a bit of a push, a little bit of a reset. I think that you know, she was doing some all right stuff with Dana, but I do think that it was very limited as to like how far you could go with that. So I think you know, send her back down, see if you can get a bit of a new gimmick going. You know, it's worked well for Balor. So, all right, let's do this, and then I'll jump back over to you guys. Cool. Boom, let's see what people are saying. Mandy Rose was traded to NXT. Do you think this is the first episode with fans being back? They might pull a massive upset for fans by having Carmella win the title. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that Bianca is the right person to still continue carrying the belt, but and plus, don't forget, Carmella wasn't the plan. Like it was going to be Bayley, so that suggests to me that there was never a plan to put the title on Carmella because she wasn't the person that was meant to be facing for the title. So with that being said, I kind of think that I'm not expecting Carmella to win. Could the plans change? Sure. It could be that they go a slightly different direction. I mean, do you know what? Thinking about it, I completely forgot that we've got that tonight. That's probably going to be the main event, isn't it? I'm hoping that Bianca gets a fantastic reaction. I definitely think Bianca deserves a big pop tonight because she's been great since WrestleMania and winning the belt. Some of the booking has not been, maybe the most exciting in the world, but I do think that she's been, she's been ever present. She's been a good champion. They did a good match at Hell in a Cell. She definitely deserves a big reaction tonight. So I think putting her in the main event against Carmella, I think, would be cool. I would probably have that as the main event rather than the Big E, Kevin Owens, Shinsuke, Seth Rollins match. The Prince is back, says Moldy Spoon. He is indeed. Finn Balor returns to SmackDown. I think that's going to keep him out of the way of The Fiend, though. I think The Fiend is probably going to come back to Raw, you would imagine. So, there's that little drone thing again as well. This little drone shooting around. It's like a virtual reality drone. It's not a real drone. It's not like they've brought back the blimp. Do you remember the blimp at the old pay-per-views? Here's Apollo. Apollo! I am a descendant of Nigerian royalty. ECW Hardcore said, I know this won't happen, but what if CM Punk returns? Be awesome. What was that on the screen? It's a little drone thing. Is that a drone? Yeah. It was at the start of the show as well. What if the crowd sings Seth Rollins' new theme? Then, what do you mean? Then they sing it? Right. Shotzi and Tegan Nox. Here comes Natalya and Tamina. The look back at the Thunderdome era of Apollo is cringe. Right, we've got Liv Morgan and Zelina Vega on commentary. Who do you think should be the new IC champ, says Techno Bubble? I personally would go with Balor. Natalia Tamina, what do you think about Finn's return? I thought it was good. I think it was a bit spoiled. It's not like the biggest reaction from me because it was rumoured by WrestleVotes. And I even said when Sammy came out and he's trashing the crowd, you straight away you go, there's a return coming here. I think there's a return coming. The reason why was because he was coming out, he was cutting a promo, he was ripping into the crowd. You wanted someone to come and save the crowd, stand up for the crowd. Sammy's not in a feud at the moment, so he's the perfect person to send out there. It's not like, his last feud was with Kevin Owens, but Owens is in the Money in the Bank match now. So it was going to start a new feud for Sammy. So you just looked at it and it kind of added up right, I feel like we're getting something here. So with the rumours and with the... just with everything, you kind of look at it and, yeah. It's nice, though. It was done well. It was done well. We just live in an age where we can't have nice things anymore because it gets ruined by, Twitter. Draven Dresden says, hey, Apollo, can you get your relatives to stop emailing me? I'm not interested in getting rich. All you got to do, though, is just provide your bank details so that they can send the $1 million that you are owed. It's your money. It's your money, right? You've already earned that money. They've been trying to find the true owner of this $1 million for a long time. So all you've got to do is send your bank details, send your sort code, any passwords as well. And they'll get that $1 million straight into your account. It's a good deal. It's a good deal. I don't see why you're complaining. It's a good deal. James Kenny said, Days, I replaced the WWE title with the Winged Eagle belt on my figure show, JWE, and the Universal title with a purple Stone Cold belt. Drippy King said, Days, of Bianca and Carmella as the main event, I think Becky might come out at the end. Interesting. It seems that AEW are doing better with surprise. That is true. The only thing I would say is I think that AEW at the moment is still new. It's still tight-knit. I don't think there's really anyone running off to tell. I think WWE is quite big. It's quite bloated. There's people that work there, and, stick around for a year and then they move on to other things. Like, I don't know how long the cameramen have been there. I don't know how long, all these people that work backstage, the makeup artists, people come and go all the time. It's a massive business. So it's not like AEW that's been around. Like, I'd imagine everyone in AEW has pretty much been there from the start. Obviously, they've added new talents, but I'm talking backstage, where the leaks come from. Whereas with WWE, I think, there's a lot of people that have, loose-lipped. Let's put it that way. They'll run off and tell the broadsheets, the dirt sheets. And I think, that's something that AEW are going to have to deal with as well at some point. Zelina and Liv throwing fists outside the ring. But yeah, right now AEW are capable of keeping surprises better. Big clothesline by Liv, Tegan, and God, I really hate them. I really hate them. I don't know what it is about them. I just really hate them. We've got Zelina. It's just kind of really broken down. I kind of feel that, like, Shotzi and Tegan just aren't the focus. The focus is the women's money in the bank. And so, do you know what I mean? Like, they had Liv and Zelina fighting at ringside. Tamina and Natalya, who are in the money in the bank, have now started to brawl. I'm wondering if we might get the other couple of women. Wow, they're all Raw, aren't they? I was wondering if, like, the Raw women might come out. Liv Morgan stands in the ring, points up at Money in the Bank. There's a few people applauding. I don't know that crowd's really going crazy for Liv Morgan. Feels a bit quiet for Liv Morgan, actually. Nice pop for Bianca, though. Nice pop for Bianca as she's shown backstage. She walks right past the Dirty Dogs that try to say something, and she's like, no. Oh, the championship next. Okay, where are we? 54 minutes in, man. It's been a decent show. Days, this is just a few returns. Goldberg, Hornswoggle, Iron Mike Sharp, Barry Horowitz. Days, if they had shown Finn so early, then wouldn't that indicate a bigger shock or surprise for later? Maybe, but also, I do stand by the fact they want you focused on Money in the Bank. So they don't want this show to end and you talking about Finn Balor. They want this show to end you saying, I can't wait for Sunday. If I'm Vince McMahon, I want you focused on Sunday. I want you thinking about Sunday. So, I mean, it looks like the Big E, Kevin Owens, Shinsuke, Seth match might main event this show. And honestly, you might get the Raw guys. If I was Vince, I would have had the Raw guys come down at the end of this show. And I would have had them come down and get into the ring and have, like, all 8 guys brawling. And it's like, don't miss the action on Sunday. And that's how I would end tonight. I wouldn't drop a big surprise. But never say never. She might be at Money in the Bank, says Techno. Everything is 40% off. 40% off what? 40% off what? WWE Shop. Zoki said, do you think John Cena comes back tonight? No. I think he's coming back, but I don't think it's tonight. Burn It Down said, I can't wait to see the most beautiful woman in the world next. Linda McMahon is on the show next, and no one told me. What the flip? How dare you not tell me that Linda McMahon is on this show? How dare you? I didn't know Linda was on this show. Is that true? Is that confirmed? Burn It Down. Linda McMahon is on the show next. You want to see a reaction? You'll see a reaction. Old Linda baby on the show. Rest with Andy said, this has been awesome so far. The best show in years. The second best Madden scientist says, do you want me to donate $500? No, thank you. Daniel said, feels like 20,000 people have walked out of the area for that match. Feels like 20,000 people walked out of the arena for that match. Oh, what? The reaction was not big? Is that what we're saying? Where's the water? I've got water. Where's Bray? I'm not expecting Bray. I'm expecting him to come back, but not yet. Daniel, shout out to you. Days would be wetting himself if Linda showed up. I would, man. I would. I mean, I'm wetting myself anyway. It's just fun to do. Linda, baby, we need her, says Butterspark. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. William says, yes, it's 40% off at the shop zone. Guys, get yourself down to the shop zone. Get yourself down to the shop zone right now. 40% off. 40%. That's more than half. Amazing. It's almost halfway. I can't believe it. The show is going so fast. Corey said, Days, I've got goosebumps for the fans back. For the WWE. Imagine for the fans being back at football. Indeed. Indeed. Welcome back, says The Rock. Congratulations to Vince and WWE. So The Rock is watching. The Rock is watching. Tonight we've got our Fatal 4-Way match. We will do halftime scores as soon as we get to the halfway point. Big news so far. Vince opened the show. Passionate crowds. Finn Balor appears. Seems like he's been called up. And we're moving forward now towards Carmella and Bianca. Women's Championship match. Boo Carmella. I don't think she's going to get much of a reaction, is she? Mella. She's got a hell of a Titantron, though. Look at that. Mella is money. That was massive. J Swiss says Mae Young is greater than Linda McMahon. Mark Henry agrees as he rubbed her down with Preparation H. Yes, but he only did that because he couldn't get Linda. So, think it through, bud. J Swiss, think it through. If he had to settle for Mae Young, his heart was with Linda. But you can't go around saying that when, you know, Vince is the boss. Carmella wins or we riot, says literally one person. Look at the size of that. Carmella wins or we riot. I don't even think he's put or. I think he's put Carmella wins, we riot. Is he saying if Carmella wins, we riot? Or if Carmella doesn't win, we riot? Carmella wins, we riot. It's really bad. It's a really bad sign. It looks like he didn't even quite know how to spell Carmella, to be honest. Right, here's Bianca, and it's a decent pop. It's a decent pop. Still not as big as Edge. It's alright. It's an alright reaction. It's not as big as I thought. It's a decent pop. Yeah, that's better. That's better. That's better. As soon as she got in, she, like, did this and the crowd, like, reacted then. That's better. I never needed you at all. Bum-bum-bum. Bum-bum-bum. But, the most beautiful cow in all of WWE, Carmella. We did it, says Sasha. We did it. Such an amazing experience. My mind is blown. My heart is full. There's Bianca. Ba-ba-bum-bum. Ba-ba-bum-bum. I never needed you at all. Ba-ba-bum-bum. Ba-ba-bum-bum. Smackdown Women's Championship. From Staten Island. The most beautiful woman in all of WWE. The first ever championship match in front of people, says Nobfreeze. It's a good little quiz question, that, isn't it? BBB Yipsy said, I would be booing Bianca. Only females I would boo over her would be Nia and Eva Marie. Sasha is hot, says Frenchie123. Mella is money. Smackdown EST chant. EST chant from the crowd. EST. EST. Good chant, that. Yeah, they're with her. They're with her. Right. Bella sounded, and we're underway. Carmella giggling and Bianca laughing back. Obviously, this match was going to be at Money in the Bank. It was going to be Bianca and Bayley in an I Quit match. Got moved forward with it being Carmella. Nice takedown. Bianca shoulder tackle, and Carmella goes down. Who won out of Roman and the Usos versus Edge and the Mysterios? It was Roman and the Usos. But the match ended with Edge putting the metal bar in Roman's mouth. Becky to return and confront Bianca. Back elbows coming in by Carmella. The roughest, the toughest, the fastest, the quickest, the juiciest, the jiggliest. Calm down, David. You might want to have you might need to go for a bath. You might need to have a cold shower there, mate. Right. One. Just a one count. Raw could use Finn right now, says Chilling with Dylan. Nice backflip by Bianca. Wow, that was a great spear. She did a lovely backflip, and then as she charged at Carmella, Carmella jumped up. She really caught her right in the midsection. It's a lovely spear, that by Bianca. Big strike by Bianca. Bianca grabbing Carmella. Ugh, into the ring post. Hard goes Bianca Belair. Bayley is a punk. That's all. She ain't injured, says Curtis. Raw could use lots of things, but that's true. Into the barricade goes Bianca. I still haven't seen Green Shirt Guy, by the way. I need to try and find him. People saying that he's there, and I've still not spotted him. Quite a few Roman shirts, you know. I'm seeing in the front row a few head of the tables. On the outside. Into the barricade again goes Bianca. Carmella just hurling Bianca into the bed again. One more for good measure. Big smile on her face. Days, I've got 4 fine fresh fish for you. Thank you. Again into the barricade. He's on the front. I still haven't spotted him. I believe you. Enough people have told me he's there. I heard Bianca wants to be a heel. I think they might turn her next year. What if Sasha joins Roman? I would be confused. Techno Bubble, of course. Halftime scores. Halftime scores. Get in your halftime scores. You're absolutely right, guys. You're absolutely right. I don't know what's took you so long. Get in your half-time scores. Don't think about it. Just go with your gut feeling. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? Are you happy? Are you sad? What are you thinking? Get in your scores, get in your thoughts. Okay, let's go to these scores right now as they're firing in. Adam Page with a 7. Anna Dawes with a 6.5. Quite a few 7s here, look. I tell you, this is really interesting because we've obviously got a red-hot crowd. I don't know that the matches have been amazing. Like, the first match was solid. The women's tag match, I just thought was a bit throwaway. This match is all right so far, but I don't think this has been, like, from a booking point of view, I don't know that this show has been... It's been better. It's definitely been better. And I think the crowd are really making this show. The crowd are really making it. So it's definitely better than usual. But it's interesting seeing, like, 7s and 6s. Wrestling with Andy said, this is the greatest night in the history of our sport. Bonkers with a 4.5. Carl with an 8.5. Ryan with a 7.5. Scott with an 8. Brony with an 8.5. Nick with a 9.5. J Swiss says, I'm talking nostalgia, so 8.5. RW Punk with a 9. Corey with a 9.25. Leo with a 7. J14 with a 7.75. William says 1 Pamela Anderson boob out of 2 Dolly Parton boobs. I think that's around a 7. Trey says 7.5. Radioactive Bun says 6.5. Mark 8 Hicks with a 7.5. There's lots of 7s and 8s. Lots of 7s and 8s. Burn It Down says 8.7. He's got 8s and 7s in his score. 9 says Sarah. 6.5 says Mohammed. Danny with a 8.5. Some interesting scores. Black Dino with an 8. Danny Barnhouse with an 8.5. Well, there we go. There we go. Interesting. Let's see if the second hour can improve some of those scores. 1, 2. Shoulder up by Carmella. Shoulder up by Carmella. Bianca dragging Carmella over to the corner. 8.75. Crowd returned. They're red hot. Vince appeared. Decent match. Balor return. Then a very meh match. But this match is decent. Back elbow by Carmella. So Bianca is out on the top. No, trying to get a head scissors, but kicked away by Bianca. There's a classic sign in the crowd that says, the guy behind me can't see. Love that. And yeah, the guy behind me can't see. It's on like a green sign. Classic. Quite quiet, the crowd now. I was saying this during AEW. Like, here we go. Carmella looking for a head scissor. Gets it. And going for the pin. 1, 2. Shoulder up by Bianca. Shoulder up by Bianca. Sasha, please return, says JJXD. If Carmella is the most beautiful woman in WWE, then Days has got to be the sexiest streamer. Well, I think that's confirmed. I think that's confirmed. Look at that. That's a great shot. Because normally on the one side, they can't show that shot. Because normally on the hard cam side, there's no one there. But this is sold out. I think he said there was about 16,000. Into the corner goes Bianca face first. Guillotine applied by Carmella. Belair is fading at the moment. They're giving this match some time, aren't they? This match, I feel like with entrances, we're already like 15 minutes in here. Guillotine applied here by Carmella. Come on, B. Come on, B. B best Smackdown. Are we talking about Bianca? Is Bianca B? She's the B-E-S-T. Right, she's powered out of that guillotine. She's looking for a suplex. She's got Carmella up. Standing vertical. Wow, that guy really appreciated that. They just showed a shot of a guy in the crowd who's like, yeah! Loving it. Shoulder up by Carmella. What is she? The female Roman? Days I was crying. What was she crying for? Anna Dawes says Bianca's gonna Hulk up. Right now, Bianca's gonna go over to the rope. She's gonna do this. She's gonna go full on warrior. Oh, you're right, sure. Do one of them. I'd be down for that. 1, 2. Kick out. I can't quite. What is on Bianca's ring attire? I keep looking at it thinking she's joined the Heart Foundation. It's like the pink hearts with like Natalia's logo in front of them. I can't quite tell what it is. I wish I could get like a good close-up. Bianca gets her hair back. The hair whip. Oh, there it is. Hair whip by Bianca. Up on the shoulders. Boom. Plants her down. 1, 2, 3. And she wins. Well done. A winner is you. Some dude's got an Austin 316 shirt. He is very popular in our community. Very popular. I'd love to see some William Hensey shirts. Belair has won. She is a winner. I never needed you at all. Never needed you at all. Robert, shout out to you. She used her hair. William says, "Isn't that a DQ?" No, it's not a weapon. It's her hair. It's her. She's attached to it. Right, we're backstage with. I love Otis. I'm an Otis stan. I'm an Otis stan now. Look at him. I'm an Otis stan. Otis is my spirit animal. If anyone wants to know, like, what my spirit animal looks like, just look at Otis. That's my spirit animal. I want to meet Otis. If they were doing a meet and greet, I'd want to meet Otis. And I'd be like, proper. What's this like? We smell fear. I don't want him to talk, really. It's Cesaro. Are we done with Cesaro's main event run now, do you think? Do you think that's it? So we've got Cesaro backstage with Otis and Chad Gable. Straight to the midsection by Otis. It's a weave, which is a foreign object, says Vape Ross Vape. Nah, that's her real hair. That's definitely her real hair. You can't prove otherwise. Right, we've gone to commercial break. So Otis attacks Cesaro. I feel a bit sorry for Cesaro. He's gone from feuding for the title to now, being like a future opponent for Otis. And I would think Otis would get the win as well. Because they seem to be investing in Otis. They seem to be all aboard the hype train. So, Justin said Otis is a wrecking truck. Sad but true, I think Cesaro's push has ended, says Heather. Sasha didn't return, says Pickle Rick. No. That would be scary, says William. The fake crowd noise is obvious, says NH. Finn Balor has been the best part of the night. My choice for WWE Champs Raw would be Styles. Tag would be Viking Raiders. Women's would be Baszler. Universal, Roman, Intercontinental, Cesaro, Tag, Gable, and Otis. Since Sasha didn't return, I'm guessing there's no more surprises tonight, says Brony. Might be one. Might be Summer. I mean, in all fairness, the biggest one that had been rumoured was from WrestleVotes, and that was Finn Balor. And then, obviously, a lot of people talking about Austin Theory and Aaliyah and whatnot. Turns out they're dark matches. So maybe not. Yeah, we could be done. If there was one other little thing, I don't know what that might be, but if there was something else, I'd be like, okay. But yeah, I'm not expecting like Becky, Fiend, or anything like this. I'm not expecting that. We want Sasha, says Chloe. D. Bryan might return, says Messiah. Yeah, where is he? That's a good shout. Where is he? He's done from SmackDown, isn't he? He can't come back to SmackDown. Maybe Monday he rocks up at Raw. Their lips biting money. Oh, is that what it was? Lips, like, chomping on some money. Okay, cool. Glad the crowd is back, says 21 Connor. Shout out to India. Thebin says, do you remember when Bischoff said Vince no more likes to be on screen? He just took that to a whole new level. That's true. Where have you been? And off he went. That was it. If you missed Vince, that was it. It's a little strange. Why are all Vince's segments a little strange? Every single one is a little strange. It is weird. Like, Vince back in the day wouldn't have done that. Vince, you know, younger Vince during the Attitude Era, he wouldn't have just come out and gone, where have you been? And just walked off. I feel like he's slowly losing his marbles as the years are going by. There we go. Tony Storm next Friday. Have we got Otis now against Cesaro? Otis. Okay. I'm gonna guess Otis Cesaro. Tony Storm is coming next week. Yep. Otis making his way down. They're giving him a bit of a spotlight, aren't they? I mean, they're definitely investing in Otis. So, Otis making his way down. He doesn't... The thing about Otis is he doesn't really have that star power yet. Like, people aren't losing their minds for Otis. But I do like this gimmick. Bit of Bam Bam, bit of Vader. You know, you're getting those King Kong Bundy... Do you know what I mean? Getting those kind of vibes. We're doing it all for the Academy. Here comes Cesaro. So it is Otis against Cesaro. Undertaker live in Houston. That would be great for just an appearance, says BBB Yipsy. Sasha, return, please. Sometimes says Pickle Rick. Cesaro, the Swiss Superman, says Knob Freeze. Dang it, says Ryan. Dang it! Otis better not beat Cesaro. Right, well, Cesaro making his way down to the ring. It's worth mentioning as well, and I'm going to mention it, that the stage and the ramp are black, and they are not screens. Just for anyone that's not watching, because we have seen before the stage and the ramp actually be screens. This isn't. I think I prefer it not being a screen. I think it being a screen at the back and the rest of it not, I think it makes it look even cleaner. I think it looks clean. I think this is where the clean is coming from, the fresh feeling is coming from. Do you know what I mean? You've got this big screen, looks great, and then the rest of it is just a I like it. I like it. Draven Dresden said, how many swings tonight? Ooh, he's going to do well to swing Otis. That'll be, yeah, I mean, it's a good shout, that is. It's a good shout. It's gonna probably be a few. Against the ropes goes Cesaro, duck underneath. Uppercut by Cesaro. And another as well. Otis getting driven back. Come on, Cesaro. Beat up Otis. He punched you in the tummy, says Matthew. Yeah. Don't let him get away with that. Don't let him get away with that heinous crime. He punched you in the tummy. He's in the corner. Otis charging over. Shoulder first. Into that ring post. Drop kick to the back. And Gable's come in. German. And that's that. Well, that was rubbish. That was rubbish. Against the ropes goes Chad Gable. European uppercut by Cesaro. People want to see the swing, but he's not going to do it to Otis. He's doing it to Chad. I wanted to see him do it to Otis. He's doing it to Chad, and I tell you, Chad's got a good height. Look at the height. Chad's like waist height as he's being swung around. There's Otis. Otis charging into Cesaro. Is Otis going to hit that bomb? The splash, yeah, he's got him in position. They're really getting this move over. I like this move. So he's got Cesaro down in position. Otis is climbing up. Here we go. It's time! It's Vader time! Mitchell said, I'd like Angle to become the coach of Alpha Academy. That would be cool. I think they need a manager. That would be cool. I like that shout, Mitchell. Yeah. Otis bomb. An Otis bomb. Bit of blood on the face of Otis. First time in 70 weeks. 70 weeks. Week after week after week. We've had to watch the shows without fans on Thunderdomes. Not 70 weeks. Flip. Otis is bleeding. Yes. Femin said, Days, there must be some reason to keep that Fatal 4-Way as the main event. I'm expecting some. They could have easily gone for Roman Edge tag as the main event. Okay. I mean, you might get the Raw stars, but I think it's an advert for Money in the Bank. This is a go-home show for Money in the Bank, so ending on the match for Money in the Bank makes a lot of sense. I'm not expecting anything. You could get the Raw 4 come down. You could get that. I think Otis will betray Chad and win a title like the US title. I was crying because of the fans being back and the pop that Edge got, says Edward. Showing a replay of earlier. They're showing a replay of Edge and the match from earlier. Here's Heyman. I love Heyman and Kayla. The situation with Edge. I love Kayla and Paul Heyman. I love, man. They're a good. They're an entertaining duo. And he's a great promo, isn't he, Paul Heyman? Don't ask me about that Edge. Oh, hello. Big E? Big E swiveling his way into shot. clap for the man that will win the Money in the Bank. Feel the power. That was nice. That was a good moment. I'd be worried if I was you. Big E's in fine spirits tonight. Otis wasn't bleeding. It was just ketchup from a hot dog that he stole from the kid in the front row, says BBB Yipsy. Days, if this Otis was there earlier, then would Vince have kept Money in the Bank briefcase on him? I don't know. I don't know if it would have gone on him in the first place, to be honest. I think the reason it went on was because there was a real connection with the fans with the Otis and Mandy story. Oh, here he is. Look, here he is. His shirt's not even ironed. His shirt's not even ironed. Look at him. Dejected. Apparently he's got a special request. Right, commercial break. Baron Poobin, says Mark. Mitchell said, if Big E and Edge team up, it would be Big Edge. Big Edge. Envy said, he's gonna say that he quits. No song for Corbin. Doesn't even get a song. Doesn't even get a song. I tell you what's quite interesting. That well, I'm guessing it'll be Nakamura and Boogs. But I was going to say, who's going to come out? I feel like he's going to cut a promo and he's going to get interrupted. I feel like he might be on the verge of saying he's done and all that, and someone's going to interrupt. So there's potential for a surprise, for a moment, for something. Do you know what would be nice? A legend. If a legend came out and said to, you know, Corbin, I got knocked down so many times, you have to pick yourself back up. You can't let this beat you. You know, you are better than this kind of a thing, you know? I think a legend coming out would be cool. This would be a good spot for a legend. But it'll probably end up being Nakamura and Boogs, won't it? So, see how it goes. Mitchell said, Corbin needs to embrace his boxing background. 1987 Big Fan said he's going to come back, but with a new gimmick. Justin said, Days Corbin is hashtag all elite. Kyle said, imagine if Becky returns. Remember, Becky and Rock beat the beep out of this on SmackDown. Laurie said it's not over till the fat lady sings. Liam said, where is Linda? Which is a brilliant question. Where is Linda? Literally Series said, if Kofi wins the WWE Championship and Big E wins Money in the Bank and cashes in successfully, he and Kofi would have a match at Survivor Series. If Kofi wins the championship, Big E wins, then they would face each other. Yes. I wouldn't be into that, to be honest. I don't want like a nicey pally match. I like, if they're going to have a match, I want them to turn on each other. I want there to be animosity. I'm not really interested in seeing two friends have a little exhibition thing. Wouldn't really do it for me. How come there's no tribute to Paul Orndorff? There was one the other day on, was it, what day was it? No, it was Raw. On Raw, they had a little graphic at the start for him. Maybe Dude Love comes out and we get Happy Corbin. Oh, that's a good shout. I mean, I don't think they'll do it. If they're bringing Mick Foley back, I don't think they're bringing him back as Dude Love. But someone that's like really positive. Who would it be? Cena would be good. Never give up. Do you know what I mean? Cena coming down. But it won't be. It won't be. It's going to be Boogs and Nakamura, but I'm just saying, this would be a good spot for a legend. Right. Let's find out, shall we? Money. Money, 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 money. It's weird, isn't it, how Money in the Bank has its own theme song. None of the others do. You don't get the same Royal Rumble song every year. But you do get that money, 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 money. That's My Nature says, hey, Bird, what a night, eh? Fans back in WWE. Impact have got Slammiversary and Money in the Bank. It's a wrestling weekend. That's My Nature. Shout out to you. Last week you lost your crown, and there he is, look dejected, sad. Black Dino says, we are back. The bank are threatening to foreclose. Baron Corbin is not King Corbin. That's just embarrassing. I miss watching WWE Raw and SmackDown, says American Girl. Brother Love, I love you. Bring back the old Money in the Bank song, says AJ Shields. Well, look. His beard has grown out. He looks a mess. Where's this going? Where's this going? Look at me. I've lost everything. He's lost his savings. He's lost his investments. What? My house is a mess because we had to fire the maids. It's interesting to hear him speak. He said that he's going to have to move in with his wife's parents. There's a few people pointing there like, that's what you did? Let's hope. You can help me. I hope he has a 1-800 help Corbin number or something. He started a crowdfunding. It's called the Corbin Fund. Love it. Corbin Fund me. His target goal was 100,000. He just wants to get back on his feet, guys. Yeah, $100,000 could do that. Is it a site? Let's have a look. Is CorbinFund.com a site? Let's have a look. CorbinFund.com. CorbinFund.com. Struggling. Yeah, it's there. There is one. It is a site. CorbinFund.com. You can't actually donate anywhere, though. But it is a page. And it literally just brings up what they showed on the screen. And that is it. CorbinFund.com is a place you can go to. All right, Kevin Owens. Yeah, there's nowhere to donate, though. I'm surprised about that. I thought Vince would definitely have took your money. Yeah, CorbinFund.com works. Right, Kevin Owens, 1-800 help Corbin. That would have been better. Yeah, so are we just going straight into the main event, are we? Look, Corbin's down on his knees. He's on his knees, people! He's on his knees! I'm donating my life savings, says BBB Yipsy. Dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun. I think it would be more real if Corbin had a GoFundMe or a Patreon. It's so hard what they're... I don't know what they're trying to do. Are they trying to build sympathy for him? Because if they're trying to build sympathy, then why did he talk about letting go of the maids? You're out here because you want to help me. No. It's going to stun him. You'll stun him. Mitchell said, come on, guys. At least get the man a Tide pen. Yes. There's a few bad stains on that shirt. You have a heart. You sympathize for people that are in need. Yeah, I mean, we know that you don't spend money. It's so confusing. You don't spend money on your wardrobe, and he ends up getting stunned. This is the best Corbin segment ever, says Joaquin. Oh, new graphics for Big E. Big E, WWE Comics. That's cool. That's cool. Look at that. It's like a comic book vibe. That's nice. That's nice. I wish they'd change his flipping ring attire, but that's nice. It's like a comic book, says Big E. Good. Corbin has got to seriously hate this character, says Ryan. I just think it's a mess. I just think it's confusing. I just think, like, if you want to build up sympathy, it might work. I was feeling sympathy towards him, but then he comes out with a few lines like how he's had to let the maids go and you're meant to feel sorry for him. And now he's trying to raise 100,000 and how don't take this the wrong way, but you're not spending money on your wardrobe. It's like, we've talked about it the other day. It's just badly booked. Draven Dresden said just 30 cents a day. We could make sure Corbin keeps his house, his second car, his last maid, his wife, and his kid. It's not much to ask, is it? It's not much to ask. Right, 20 minutes left. 20 minutes left. Big E versus King Shinsuke versus Seth Rollins. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep rolling, rolling. Days, this is so much more fun and full of life than the past year and a half. That's true. I do agree with that. It is definitely more lively. I still think the booking's not there. I still think the booking's a bit off. But again, it is a go home. Do you know what I mean? It is a go home. Boom. What happened to Randy? I don't know where Randy is, actually. I don't know where he is. He's been away for a while, hasn't he? He's having a well-deserved break. Days, the AEW game has been released. Yeah, is anyone playing it? Is it good? I saw the reviews were a bit mixed. There was like 3 stars out of 5 or something. So it seemed like there was a few early bugs that they needed to try and work out. Dazzle by Nature says, are we seeing Babyface Baron? I like it. It's a bit messy, to be honest. I think there's a lot that he says that you can feel sympathy with. I mean, you look at him, he's coming down, he looks a mess, he looks a broken man. Like, you feel sympathy towards that. But then some of the stuff that he says, I don't know. It's messy. Mitchell says, this character doesn't work because they want us to pretend we don't remember Corbin played in the NFL and is also a Golden Gloves champion. Does it not work because of that? Because he's saying that he lost his money. He's saying that not only did he, for some reason, when he lost the crown, he apparently lost his savings. He lost, why? Why did he lose his savings? Why did he have bad investments? Why is he broke? Why is his kids on the verge of leaving? And why is he, can't even iron his shirt? How has this all happened? Because he lost his crown? I don't know, man. There was something there. I think if they'd have just gone down the path, if they'd have just gone down the road of that crown was everything, you don't understand. Before that crown, I was struggling to get an identity. I was struggling to find my place. That crown was everything. I was the king of WWE. And now that it's gone, who am I? Who am I? What do I stand for? What do I fight for? I don't even know who I am anymore. If he was to have, a bit of a crisis over the fact he'd lost the crown, I could get with that. But it's so hard to buy into this character of, I've lost the crown, my investments have gone back. Everything's gone wrong for him at the same time. It's just a bit why? Why? Why has it all gone wrong for you at the same time? Doesn't really, I don't know. And then, you feel a bit of sympathy, and then they say something stupid, or he says, they're trying to get sympathy, sort of, on maybe what is someone that's still a heel? I don't know. It's a hot mess. It's a hot mess. Talking of a hot mess, here's Boogs. Days, can you download RVD Aloe Vera game? Aloe Vera Gel Application Simulator. Already got it, mate. I was on the development team. Boogs. Just showing Big E with his legs on the ropes. So, Boogs rocking out. And here's Shinsuke. Mitchell said, Corbin's crown equals Austin Powers mojo. Crowd are singing along. And Big E is dancing in the ring. Sing along. Yeah, it's since they changed it to the one where... Since they changed it away from the guy that was doing the singing, it makes it easier to sing along to it. That's why they put the guy on in the first place, so that it wasn't as easy to sing along to. But people love this music. It is cool. He's dropped the crown! Silly Nakamura. Right, how long have we got? 14 minutes? 14 minutes is all we've got. They're singing, but I can barely hear them. Oh, Seth. Here's Seth Rollins. Flames shooting out from the side. Slightly wrong camera angle. New screen, entrance screen. I don't remember his Titantron looking like that. How do you like the show? It's alright. It's alright. Crowd are good. I think once we got past that first match, once we got into that women's tag match, it sort of settled down a little bit then. Sort of settled into a normal show. I don't think there's been loads for the crowd to lose their mind over. I think the booking is still a bit off, to be honest. But there's no denying it's got a big night feel. Do you know what I mean? The energy feels better. I mean, the show feels better. Becky needs to save the women's division, says Kyle Plays. Do you think the show runs over? No. I don't think so. I don't think they tend to overrun with SmackDown. I just think there's going to be a little brawl thing to... The only reason they're doing this is to get you to tune in for Sunday. Austin said, I'm going to help Corbin with his GoFundMe page. Who is that standing on top of Cole? Who is that standing on top of Cole? I have no idea. Vape Ross Vape said, Days, I pay a grown man to play guitar for me at work. It's pricey, but it's worth it. My co-workers don't get it, but they will. It's a good point, actually. Could you imagine if, like, when you went to work, every time you walk into a room, there's some dude that plays guitar to welcome you in? Then we need to go to commercial break. Oh, there we go. I was going to say we need to go commercial. But there we go. It's safe to say Edge and Finn had the best pops. Yeah. Yeah. I would say Edge topped it. I noticed everyone in the match is face except Roland, said Techno Bubble. Come on, King. 10 seconds into the match, the crowd were loud. Febin said if Riddle wins the case, it would be interesting to see Randy obsessing around it. Ant said the commercials making the show look bad. Capsman says SmackDown doesn't go over because it's on Fox and local Fox affiliates here in the US start at 10. These shows are so much better with the crowd. It seriously helps the atmosphere instead of that delayed crowd noise from the Thunderdome, says Anna. Anna, shout out to you. Hope you are well. Ryan said, huge spear, big flip from Kevin Owens. Kinshasa from King Skay. Matt said, Days, it's going to be very interesting to see what the Monday Night Raw set will look like. That's true. Dave said, does the staging look good? It does. It does. I'll show you the picture, Dave, of what it looks like. That's it without the graphics on. So the actual ramp and the stage stay black. They're not screens. They are black. At first, it kind of looks bland and boring, like just looking at this image. But I've got to say, when the entrances are happening, it does have a WrestleMania feel. Like, it is big. It's absolutely huge. I mean, it's very impressive. It's very impressive. It's much better than the curved Raw one, because this is bigger. And I like the fact that the stage doesn't light up. I like the fact they keep the stage just black. I think that looks classy. The other joke I was going to say is, do you think it's so big because when ticket sales are going to struggle, they can put people on it, like crowd? Do you know what I mean? So, like, if ticket sales are bad, they can just focus the camera on the people that are there and the fake people they put on the screen. Look at all the people here in attendance. And just ignore all of these empty seats. Obviously, that's in about a couple of years' time. But, yeah, no, it looks, joking aside, it looks good. Looks good. Going Ghost says, Nakamura's entrance should have been a bigger pop. Mitchell, well, I think we said before, I think his booking has been messed up. So, I think that's maybe played a part. But they were still singing along. Oh, hello, this is the Rolling Loud thing. Live next Friday, Cleveland and Rolling Loud. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be good. That's something to look forward to next week, isn't it? Co-broadcast. When I am watching wrestling, then I watch you. It's delayed, so you can say Riddle hit the RKO, then a few seconds later it happens. Yeah, it's YouTube that does that, unfortunately. There's only 10 minutes left. I think the Raw guys will invade, says Trent. Daniel said double location next week. Yep. Days, can you do an impression of Dunn staring at Gargano? I don't know if I could. I'd need to see it to remember what he looks like. Anna says, time not showing. Please stop spamming. Stop spamming, guys. You naughty boys and girls. Harley said, Days, the show has been awesome. Vince appeared. The crowd are back. They make it feel huge. Great new stage. 2 pretty decent matches. Finn Balor made a big return. Just didn't like the women's tag or Corbin. Sonny said, yesterday a tornado hit the city of Barrie, which is 6 hours. No one was killed, but some people were injured. Did you see the floods in Germany? They're awful. I think 100 people have died in Germany with some really bad floods. So I think Europe's going through some real rough times as well. It's just that weather, isn't it, at the moment? We had a heat wave today. Big ending by Big E. Seth Rollins makes the save. Sam said, I'm going to get robbed in Cleveland. I don't know, dude. You might do. I don't know. Depends who's at that Rolling Loud and who you don't get to see. They've got ladders all around the ring for no reason whatsoever. Am I right in saying? This is a just to be used as weapons, I'm guessing. Drives that into Nakamura. Dazzle by Nature says, I wonder, will we get a bigger crowd for NXT next week? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's still going to come from that performance center. Frenchie says, what a go-home show. Justin said, fans cheering for Rollins. Rollins climbing up the ladder. Kevin Owens stopping him. Mitchell said, USA Network seem to be getting screwed over by Fox. Owens is the one that's climbing this ladder. He's gone all the way to the top. And elbow drop through the table. Wow, that's good I like that from the cameraman. I tell you what, the cameraman made that. So, Kevin Owens climbing up to the top of the ladder, delivering an elbow. But the fact that when he came down, the cameraman seemed to fall over actually made that even better. Look. And then the cameraman goes down, and for some reason, the camera spins round. I felt like I was in a washing machine. I was like, where are we going? Where are we going? Just gives you a taste, doesn't it? And that's what this is about. Just gives you a taste of Sunday. That's why the show's ended with this. Owens off a ladder. Seth Rollins planting Big E. Seth wins the match. It's just a short little thing just to advertise Sunday. More like wrestling maze. 21 Connor, shout out to you. Seth wins. It was a curb stomp onto a ladder that knocked Big E out. Seth wins here, so I don't think he wins Sunday. Looks like they're going to have him climb the ladder and get the briefcase. Someone's got a sign. Someone's got a sign that says Cena hates freedom. Have you seen that sign? Cena hates freedom. Why have they brought that? Because of the China comments. Michael Cole says, we are back and we are home. He's fired up. It's fired up, Michael Cole. Mitchell said, get the camera guy. Fund me going, guys. And that is that. The show ends with Seth standing tall with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Yeah, because of the China comments. Yeah, that's uncalled for, says Big Boy Dally. It seems a bit harsh. I mean, it's political. People are going to have really strong views on it. But to take a sign, Cena hates freedom. Do you know what? If I went to a wrestling show, I'd be really tempted to take, like, just a white sign, completely blank, and then just, like, write as things happen in the show so that I can, like, have a sign that's quite relevant. I'd have a sign that says Cena hates this guy with an arrow, and I'd be there. So you've got the dude that's got Cena hates freedom. I'd be like, Cena hates this guy. And then there's an arrow like that. I'd be like, can you just get a bit closer? Come in. Look at this. There we go. You douche. Fancy coming back just to make that statement. What a loser. Right, anyway. Getting your thoughts. Share your thoughts, guys. What are your thoughts? We spent like over an hour talking about the show. So what's your thoughts? What do you think? What do you think, guys? Are you happy? Are you sad? How are you? How are you feeling in yourselves? What's your thoughts, guys? What's your thoughts? 8.5 says Hasib. 8 says burn it down. 10 says Frenchie. 10 says it's Malik. 7.5 says Callum. 9.5 says Shabul 1. Burn it down says 8. 825 says Brony. 21 Connor says I'll give it a 9. Black Dino with a 10. Burn It Down says 8. Silent Yoshi says 10 out of 10. The greatest moment was when the cameraman fell over. Dark Gaming says 10. A few 10s from a few people here. 10 says Craig. 10 says Ron. 10 says Robert. Are you all drunk? Well, what's going on? Oh, look at all these 10s. Austin said full-time score. I'm giving it an 8. 9. SmackDown was amazing, says James Chadwick. 9. 7 says Desmond. 7.5 says Bonkers. 9 says Kyle. 8.5 says Huskus the Big Boy. How is that a 10, says Jonathan. 10 out of 10, a very good show. Well, a very good show wouldn't be 10, would it? I don't know if you could say 10 out of 10. 10, it could not. 10 out of 10. It was a very good show. I kind of feel like 10s are like perfect. You wouldn't change a single thing. Are you honestly saying there is nothing about this show that you would change? There is nothing about this that I would change. 10 out of 10. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. That's 10s for me. We've all got our own scales, of course, so everyone's scale will be a bit different, but Edward says 10. 9 says Michael. 8.5 says Ruben. 9 says Sarah. 9 says Danny Barnhouse. 10 says Young Voice. Frenchie said it's a 10, just admit it. Did Davey Boy have a dart match? Apparently so. Sonny says 9. 8.5 says Vinster. 8.5 says Ruben. 8.25 says Brony. Maybe it's 10 in the Thunderdome, says BN Drake. A few 9s. 775 says Shaquem. 10 out of 10 says Elizabeth. Not a 10 says Burn It Down. A lot of you are overhyping this, maybe due to crowds being back, says Daniel. 8.5 says Freshly Squeezed. No more than an 8, says Curtis. 8 says Scott. Taboy says 8. If no fans, then maybe it's a 7. Maybe a 6.75. 1987 Big Fan says 8. Retribution says 7. Brad G says 8. Scott Turner says 8. This would only be a 10 from Days if Linda showed up. Pff, mate, It's a straight 10. Straight 10 if Linda arrives. That's it. Too many 10s, in my opinion. Wasn't a big fan of the Bianca Carmella match or the Cesaro drubbing. Yeah, I'm going to give this... I'm going to give it an 8. And I must admit, I think that's charitable. I agree. The Cesaro, Otis, I love Otis, but I don't really want to see him and Cesaro personally, because I think Cesaro, I mean, if Cesaro beats Otis, I'm going to be super sad. And if Cesaro ends up losing a feud just after being around that main event scene, that'll make me super sad as well. So I agree that I really like both guys, but I don't want to see them in a feud. Bianca Carmella was okay. It was all right. Bianca got a nice reaction. First match was decent. It was all right. I mean, when I say decent, I just mean decent. I don't mean, like, amazing. I mean, it was decent. So, yeah, it was all right. The Edge pop was huge. I think the live crowd are great here. But a main event match was nice. Short, didn't outstay its welcome. Thought it was good. Main event match was good. Crowd were good. I do think, though, that, like, the biggest pop is Edge. And that was, like, one of the first pops. So, like, everything after that wasn't as big. There was nothing that followed that first opening that was as big. Main event was decent. Some decent reactions in that main event. But I don't think there's a red-hot babyface that the crowd are really into. Do you know what I mean? Like, it would have been good if, like, Daniel was, like, still crazy popular and everyone was doing the yes. Like, if Daniel was in that main event and that whole crowd are doing the yes chant, that would have been really cool. But I don't think we really got any reactions like that, because I don't think there's a red-hot babyface in that main event. I think the women's tag match, I didn't like it. Not a fan of it. What else did we get? Corbin things. I just don't like it. It's a bit off. So, you know, there's a few things there that I wasn't crazy about. But, you know, this is the first show back with fans. We did get Finn Balor. We got a good main event. There was some stuff here. As I said, I'm gonna give it an 8. Feeling quite charitable. Jim said I was gonna say 9, but 7, 8, 9. Jay Smith says, if this show was 10, then I'm Joe Biden. Spoiler alert, I'm not Joe Biden. 8.5, says Jay Smith. Daniel said, I'm going to go 7.75. I think AEW on Wednesday was slightly better. AEW had a mix of pops compared to this. You had Hangman, you had Sammy, you had Jungle Boy. That's a really good shout, yeah. I think within these 8s, because you're always going to have shows that are very, very close. So I would agree that I would probably say AEW is slightly ahead of what we had tonight. I do think, though, that this is, dare I say, a bit more significant than AEW having fans back. I kind of feel fans coming back to AEW it's nice, but they've had them around for a little while. Whereas tonight, I think this is a little more significant. This is like a big explosion of fans being back. So I think in the cold light of day, if it wasn't such a significant moment of the fans being back, then AEW would be the best show this week. I agree with that. We want Roman versus Otis. Taze, how would you book Raw this week? Dude, we can talk about that before Raw. Let's see how the weekend goes. Finn had a big pop. Finn's pop was decent. Yeah, Finn's pop was decent. I think Money in the Bank is going to be fire, says Mark. Harley said also this was a go home. That is true. That is true. You can't really... That is very true. You can't start any feuds. You can't really do many swerves. You can't really get your teeth into anything creatively because this is just the final touches for Money in the Bank. So that's very true. Whackin said, Days, you were laughing at Corbin thing. I was laughing at the Corbin thing. Yeah, but I also said that Corbin has got my sympathy, but then he's mentioning maids. You know, guys, I've had to let the maids go. My kids are now eating spaghetti out of a tin. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's so unfocused. It's so unfocused. I also said, like, I don't get the Corbin thing because he's lost his crown, but like, he's lost his investments at the same time. And he's lost money, and his kids want to leave him, and everything, like, falling apart. How is it all falling apart? So, you know, there's parts of the Corbin thing that I, you know, when he came down and he was looking dishevelled, I was, you know, okay, we're off to an all right start. But once that whole promo played out and some of the lines that he delivered seemed a bit off, and, you know, he's asking for 100,000 and whatever, like, it's just a confusing mess. I kind of feel a bit of sympathy for him. But then I think they're still keeping him heel. It's so unfocused that it's not what I would be doing with him. I think I said at the time, I would have it whereby he talks about the crown was his identity, and he talks about how now he's lost that, he's sort of lost his identity. I don't think you need to put money into it. I don't think you need the money side of this story. He's lost the crown. I don't think he needs to have lost money. So that's my take on it. So I think it's a bit unfocused, and I think it's going in the wrong way. So, but we'll see where it heads. We'll see where it goes. Days, are you seeing any title changes on Sunday? Only if someone cashes in. I don't see Roman losing to Edge, but I did wonder with the size of Edge's pop. I have to tell you, that is the kind of reaction that I think makes people sit up and rethink. I think that's the kind of reaction that changes finishes. That was a massive pop that Edge got. So I think that, you know, if I'm Vince and I'm backstage, I'm like, whoa, they're really into him. You know, I'm starting to think a few things now. That's the kind of reaction that, you know, changes creative direction. But I still think Roman wins. I think they've still got plans to do Roman Cena at SummerSlam, and I think the title would be involved. So, you know, there's a few things you can't change. So I think with that, they're probably going to keep it on the same path. Probably not going to change that. So I think we're going to have, I think Roman retains. Lashley, Goldberg is heavily rumoured, and I've got to think that's for the belt. So I don't think Bobby's losing. Charlotte beating Rhea. No one's going to appreciate that if that happens. There's no mid-card title matches. There's no tag title matches, is there? Well, there is on the kickoff show, isn't there? Usos and Mysterios. That got added, didn't it? Was it today? So I could see that changing. I think if there's going to be a title change, that'll be the one. But I don't see the others changing. After that match, do you think Big E is still going to win? Well, I think Riddle wins, actually. But I think Big E is in the conversation, yes. I think if you stand tall on the go home, there's a good chance you don't win at the show. So what tonight might have done is it might have ruled Seth Rollins out. And actually, Big E is the one that took the pin. So Big E is the one that looks weak here. He's the one that's just been curbed. So, yeah, if anything, that points a bit more towards Big E. I mean, we still don't know because it could be a Raw star that wins it. And I still think Riddle is in the conversation. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good for Big E's chances after tonight. Definitely. Why the hell is Tamina in Money in the Bank when you've got Mia Yim, says Mark. There's also AJ and Amos versus Viking Raiders. No, I don't see that changing. I think they'll keep it on AJ and Amos. Edge got the biggest pop for sure. Edge couldn't be the champ because he can't wrestle weekly, says Ryan. Days, if you was Vince, how worried would you be if the ratings stayed stagnant and almost the same as the pandemic after this crowd hype is gone? How worried would I be? I wouldn't be too worried as long as I'm working with the networks and they're happy with the progress that we're making. So, you know, I'm talking to them about what you want, what are we looking for? Can you... You know, I think there's lots of things that can still be explored. So I think with the ratings being bad, You can always turn around to Fox and USA Network and say, nah, they'll be all right once the crowd come back. Once the crowd's back, everything's going to be okay. So I think you can get away with bad ratings for a while because I think the networks, like us, are in the mindset of, the crowds will come back and everything will go back to normal, right? I think after a few weeks, if those ratings start to slip, I think there's other things you can say. You can say to them, well, I tell you what, we'll try a draft. And we'll try that. Or I'll tell you what, we'll do a Legends night. We'll try that. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll try a big title change. We'll try that. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll do this. I think if I'm Vince, I've got so many things up my sleeve that I can try that I think we're still a long, long way from, like, panic stations. Those numbers would have to be atrocious. Like, 1 million. Because Raw was at 1.4. I'd imagine there'll be that bump. I'd imagine there will be a little dip back down. I don't know that we go back down to where we've been. If we do go back down to where we've been, then I think there'll be a lot of talking behind the scenes of, should we try this? Should we do that? Let's give this a go. I think it'll be okay. But I think if we then start to go down, do you know what I mean? If Raw starts to go 1.3, 1.2, 1.1, 1 million by the end of the year, then I think we're panicking. Because then we seem to be in free fall. Do you know what I mean? We need something to bring the ratings up. But I think right now we're all right. I think we've got quite a way to go. Harley said, I thought 825. I give him my reasons. I read them. I saw them. SummerSlam, Balor versus Sammy. Jay Swiss says, I'm going to think outside the box. I'm going to go with John Morrison. Days, are you going to go to the Corbin Fund Meet? We did. I went there, and it's literally what they showed. There's nowhere to actually donate, which, as I said, I'm quite surprised Vince didn't add, to be honest. So, Corbin's so poor, he wipes with just one sheet of toilet paper. Capsman said, could Raw move to Fox? I don't think so. I think they've got a pretty long-term deal with USA Network. Brian said, why would you like to see Becky get involved if she returns? What would you like to see Becky? Becky. Becky. How would she get involved? I think she's coming to SmackDown. Because I don't think she wants to be on a different brand to Seth. So I have to think she comes to SmackDown, but there is no SmackDown women's match. So I'm thinking she's going to have to make her presence felt with Money in the Bank. Not sure. Unless, like, she's going to just make her way out. I think she's there. I think Sunday I expect to see her, but I can't quite work out how yet. Unless she gets involved in the Raw match, but then if she's not going to be on Raw, why would you do that? Maybe it's going to be a case that, like, Rhea wins, Charlotte attacks, and then Becky comes out. That would be the easiest way to do it. But again, that's Raw. So why would she get involved with Raw if she's going to go to SmackDown? And why would she get involved in Money in the Bank? I don't know. Little tricky, that one. Little tricky. I hope the writers get inspiration after the crowds tonight. Right, well, friends, we are done. I need to call it quits there because I need to go and do research for UFC. I've got UFC research to do. We've obviously got UFC tomorrow. We've also got Money in the Bank on Sunday. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe. Make sure you join us because we are going to be back tomorrow for UFC. Big show as well. Miesha Tate returns. I'm super excited about her coming back. She's not been around for like 5 years. And also Islam Makhachev, who Habib has said is the next lightweight champion. He thinks, forget talking about McGregor and Poirier and all this. He says that Islam is the next big thing in the lightweight division. He is the main event of the show tomorrow. Tomorrow it's a sleeper card. You don't want to miss tomorrow's UFC if you're a UFC fan. There's some big, big matches. I'm amazed Miesha Tate's not headlining. But she's not because Islam Makhachev is a big deal. like maybe the future of lightweight division, maybe a future champ. So very excited for UFC tomorrow. Genuinely looking forward to it. And then, of course, Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank. We've got Money in the Bank on Sunday. Really looking forward to that. That is going to be absolutely huge. Lots of surprises. Lots of things going down. Potentially Becky, as we said. I mean, we'll see how it plays out, but very, very excited for it. So awesome, guys. Really appreciate the support as always. I hope you had a great evening. It was a good show. They didn't let us down. It was a good, solid show. For a go home, it was very impressive. Let's see what they can do at Money in the Bank. Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.